Hey, brother.
Hey, we live. I hit the live button by accident. Go ahead and start. Hey, just put it over here. I got my other gun. Just go ahead and start.
Hey, Shalom Akim. Well, I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders and great Mosul for teaching his truth and for ruling well. And peace salutation to Joachim out there pushing and defending his gospel throughout the four corners of the earth, as well as to the believers in Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the men as well as the women, the book of life. Hey, we are brothers from the GMS Hawaii, and brothers is getting the stuff. They'll be right with us. But hey, we seen, all throughout this week that just passed, man. The judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai upon the earth, man. And as the elder apostle Tahar coined this year, man, the hopeful year of our deliverance and judgment and destruction for Esau Edom. Hey, we seen Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's judgment at work, man. California, well, certain parts of LA, predominantly, areas where the wealthy Edomites live at, some of the wicked of our people live at, being destroyed, man. And again, nothing but judgment of the Heavenly Father, man. And rightly so, from a...
No, I just told you.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Shalom, brother. We just gonna jump right into. I'm sorry, brother. I ain't get I did something. I'm sorry, brother. I have because he already in a spirit right now.
Yep,
I want to break it.
But yeah, man, and rightly so, because LA, just that whole area of California, Los Angeles, man, is just a place of wickedness, man. So we seen the Lord, judging this place, as the book of, real quick, I will hold my tongue no more as concerning the wickedness.
Second Ezra.
As the book of Second Ezra is we're about to read, man. The Lord is tired of the wickedness of this place, man. Of Babylon the Great, all throughout the world, but chiefly here in Babylon the Great, man. This place has been a place of great captivity for the children of Israel, great oppression for our people, and a big exporter of wickedness all throughout the world, man. And down there in LA, they're big into all sorts of depravity, wickedness, witchcraft. All of those things are being done in the daily, man, out there. So rightly so that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is bringing that evil upon them.
Hey, this is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse. I'll start at I'll start at the top. Second Ezra 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
That's right, and prophecy, the scriptures told us that these things were going to come continuously and more frequently towards the end times.
It says, fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. I had Salakia, brother, and I got thrown off. I'm in the car trying to set the video up, and I went live. So in the video, you want to see me live in the car. So I was like, oh shit. So, I'm a man of routine too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it kind of threw it off, but it really didn't. The brother just jumped right into the spirit, and that's where we at. You know what I'm saying? And this is about the business of the Lord first. Let his handle his business, and we handle our business afterwards. So, sorry, what were you saying?
Fear not the imaginations, I guess. Oh, yeah. Salagi, you finished off with, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
And what we're seeing, like it's crazy that what you were saying about what's going on in LA. You got that's a lot of destruction that happened over there. Whether it be man-made, whether it be the spirit of the Lord. The Lord took a lot from them people.
That's right.
And a lot of those people got caught off guard. It wasn't just wealthy people whose homes had been destroyed. And then also too, the Lord cut the narrative. Because they try to paint this narrative. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm not saying that they're not agent provocateurs, but they try to make it sound like Jake was out here stealing, looting and shit. And then that's when they claim they brought the National Guard in because of the looting. No, they didn't. They brought that National Guard in because there's a lot more shit going on than we all know about. So why am I saying that? Because it's an image of an Israelite Jake. I saw the image, and I didn't do videos as soon as I saw it. I saw the image when it first came out. You got this brother walking down the street with a bag full of stuff. Well, his stuff. It was his shit. It's
Jake?
Yeah. So they try to make it sound like Jake was out here looting houses and shit. Then they showed a video of a bunch of Jakes, going in the house, taking the TV, taking the door. People were just trying to save what they could.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever they could, they were trying to save it. They wasn't like they were just kicking in doors, snatching shit. I'm not saying that those things are not happening, but you got to be careful of the narratives that's being put out there. Even us brothers, a lot of the information, Elder Ariala said this last night on a campus chat, hey, just be mindful of the information that you're putting out. You know what I'm saying? If you think you're putting out some information, make sure you double check it. And in some cases, triple check it. Because a lot of times it's a false narrative that's being put out there.
Mm-hmm.
Even in alternative news, alternative and so-called mainstream news, a lot of that shit is disinformation.
Be careful.
So if you putting it out there, then you spread it to other brothers. And brothers gonna jump on it. So then, you got them brothers that's barely working throughout the week going to work. So they see something, I can do a video on that. But you didn't check it. And the scripture said we gotta be like the Church of Berea. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just listen to what Paul said. They listened to what he said and wanted to make sure that it was right. So what they do, they went to the scriptures. And then they paired it up. He said, okay, this is right. So then we're gonna teach this too. Because it lines up. So just be mindful. Mm-hmm. Just be mindful of what's going on. It's a lot going on. And that destruction that the Lord is bringing, it is part of that plagues. Let me read this again. This is, behold, saith the Lord, 2 Ezra 15:5, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the earth, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And when we today's the 10th, the 11th.
11. Yep.
We 11 days in the so-called new year, and every day has been nothing but destruction.
That's right.
And it's been death. I just saw, as soon as I came to camp, I was scrolling through YouTube. I think it was YouTube. I believe it was YouTube. Man, that fucking Jake stabbed, I don't know what the fuck's going on in New York City, but them demons are alive. These are all plagues too. He said, the Lord said he's going to bring what? Death and destruction. People died in that fire. In New York City, this guy stabbed a little kid in the heart. Stabbed her in the heart. And they got this nigga doing a perp walk. They do the perp walk in New York City. You commit a crime, they walk out the door, and people that do photographs be out there taking pictures of you. They got this nigga just walking there like it's nothing, like he just stabbed somebody in the heart. And you got to be careful because it's a lot going on. And this is why I see why I didn't get we're going to speak at the end of camp. But this is the reason why the apostles is on, brothers. And it happens every year, and especially right before Passover. The so-called New Year comes in a couple months before the Passover month happens. Brothers got to start make sure that they're doing the work diligently. There's a reason why. Because the cutoff is about to happen. It's about people about to not be able to get the word. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you're diligent in what you're doing. And why I say that, diligence goes in myriad of ways. Not just, I just did a video today. I did a video today just for the sake of doing a video. But make sure that video has substance. Make sure that video is qualified and quantified. What does that mean? It's qualified for the elect. It's good food for the elect. It's quantified that I did my due diligence and research to do this lesson, and that I'm not just feeding you with food, I'm feeding you with quality food. I'm not just feeding you with quantities of food, but the quantity matches the quality. You know what I'm saying? The apostles and elders, there's a lot going on, so I don't want to just speak. But the point of the matter is the Lord is bringing judgment. You don't want to find yourself on the other end. Whether that be you out there on the outside when you was once on the inside, whether that be you out there doing what these people doing in the world and getting caught up. You know, a lot of people's lives burnt up, man. That destruction came like this. They didn't even know it came.
Nowhere, hell yeah.
Now, I didn't even know. They saying it now. They trying to spin it. They want to make it sound like it's the Issacharite thing. You got some crazy Issacharite burning shit up. They catching people setting fires. I saw a video of a Jake this morning. Well, I think it was this morning. A so-called Negro setting fires. Cause you got crazy people in LA, man. You got crazy people all over the world.
Hey.
They're killing kids. They're killing women. They're killing men.
Demonic.
Hey, the dude, one dude, young guy, man, he got locked up for pushing a random guy on the fucking track. Now, that dude could have lost his life. But the Lord had mercy. While the train was coming, the nigga just pushed him. Why? Because people are not aware of their surroundings. You're not aware of what's going on.
Right. And
aware of going on, and I go to work, and I'm waiting for the bus. No, man, you got to know what's going on in the world. You got to know what's going on around you. You got to know what's going on in your
circumspect.
You got to know what's going on in your area of your area of expertise, your area of influence, your area of circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Can't just go out here just like willy-nilly, man. It's raw this year, and this is only a sign of things to come. Because all them wealthy people whose houses burned in LA, the government don't want to take care of them. The government doesn't want to take care of them. They're making fun. Joe Biden and what's her face? Kamala Harris making jokes, making puns, while people actually lost their livelihood and their lives. You're starting to see that a lot of, and it hit a lot of those so-called millionaires. Like I said, it wasn't just the millionaires. It was other jakes too that didn't have, they were holding on to the last vestiges of wealth that their parents left them. Brandy left the house. She done died, and now this is all you got. Jake ain't paying the bills. You're not paying the bills. You're not paying the insurance. Insurance companies cutting people off. They saying that it's more than what meets the eye. So that means these companies had prior knowledge that this was going to happen. And on top of that, the insurance companies don't got enough money to pay these fucking houses. They said over $20 billion in destruction. All right, and they said that they got something called you got one level of insurance, then you got reassurance, then you got a whole nother level of reassurance. That's what these companies have to have because they don't have the money to fund the call-ins. Right? They don't have that. It's too much. So they've been taking money from these people for years at a premium and said we're gonna cover $10 billion or $10 million, $15 million in assets and burning of your house. And a lot of these people are still paying mortgages. Guess what? They still on the hook for the mortgage. So not only is their house on fire, their livelihood is on fire. A lot of people are making money from the house. Now that shit is gone. And they got them fucking mortgages come due the next month.
Then they got people their lands and shit.
Yeah. They got people that was, and you don't know the circumstances some of these so-called millionaires were in when their houses, right before their house burned on fire. Some of them probably just on that third letter, that red letter, which is the mortgage foreclosure coming in. So now that's like, damn, they ain't got a house to stay in. They ain't got a pot to piss in, right? They ain't got no food, right? All their if they weren't smart and diligent, and it came out of nowhere. This is the plagues of the Lord. That's a plague. Right? This is 2 Ezra 15:6. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
That's right, man. And again, that's why the Lord is bringing judgment upon this place. Because of the wickedness that's happening all throughout Babylon the Great, all throughout the world, man. But like we mentioned, LA is a fucking hub for wickedness. All of California, these big cities, like New York, Miami, fucking LA, these are hubs for wickedness, man. And LA is just fucking terrible, man. So it just shows you how the Lord is punishing the wicked, man.
And this ain't the first fire. They always
it's
get
constantly.
Yeah, they always get
this.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we had a major fire out here last year. People still trying to clean up over there in Maui. They ain't talking about it like they used to. But them people still without a house, man. Yeah. And then they building up some shoddy ass fucking HUD housing, bruh. Basically, got motherfuckers over there living in what's called trailers. Makeshift trailers and shit. These people went from 3 and 4, 5 bedroom homes $1 million properties over there. It was in Maui, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the
Come on, man. Hey, they might say that it's a downtrodden area, but nah, man, all that shit was worth millions, bro.
Yeah.
And people still got their hand out. They still, I think they just came up with some type of redress, meaning they're supposed to be getting paid. Some of them people that own homes and properties out there, it came down some multi-million-dollar, almost in the billions, coming down a pipe hole to pay these people for their losses, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that shit was like, it felt like it was almost 2 years ago. That's how bad it was. You know what I'm saying? And so they said this trying to rebuild that portion of LA, brother, it's gonna be, it ain't gonna be good, bro. Whatever them people lost, and then they showing all these celebrities, and they want you to feel bad for these celebrities. A lot of them people, they got these celebrities, they're barely making it. You know what I mean? Anyway, so you know, it ain't like a lot of these celebrities got multi-houses too. They want you to feel bad for them, but it's hard to feel bad for the rich. You know what I'm saying? When you got the poor. They saw this, I don't know if y'all saw the video, this Jake in LA, it was one house that did not get touched. They don't know what happened. They asked the Jake on the news, like, why do you think, you know, God spared this house? Because the guy said God spared the house. He said, I don't know, but he said, God don't like us. She was like, why is this the only house that's alive? He said, because God don't like us, man. You know, it was a Jake that said that. Well, hey, he's right. The Most High don't like a lot of you motherfuckers. Not saying that dude that was in that house was any special. I don't know who lived in that house or that home, but it was untouched. Right?
Mercy.
Exactly. And a lot of y'all don't know when mercy is being given to you. And that's why mercy is being pulled back. Verse 6, for wickedness has exceedingly on the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
That's right, man. And like we went into all the Israelites that have, you know, died in the building of America, of Babylon the Great, all the saints that complain continually for all the wickedness that comes out of this place, man. The Lord is hearing those things. That's why He said, what? He's not gonna hold His tongue no more. The verbal warning is over, man. You know, it's about to be entirely over. And this is why you see the hand of the Lord being stretched upon these places, man. You know, because the Lord is just tired of all this wickedness. And it's spiritual. The Apostle Tahar said this year was what? The hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction and judgment of Esau, Edom. These places that got burned were mainly, you know, where Esau and the wicked of his people lived, man. Not the super elite, but some of their ilk. You know,
what did he say?
That he coined this year the year of Esau's judgment and destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So these places that are getting burned is, you know, not the elite of Esau live there, but some of those wicked elite that are, you know, Mongols of industry and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck you.
Yeah,
It's a righteous judgment of the Lord.
Yeah, I saw fucking Steve Gutenberg. He's an actor. I saw that nigga Harrison Ford. They got this nigga. They said the cops drove this nigga to their neighborhood to look at the assess the damage. And when that nigga came back from assessing the damage, he didn't look happy, bro. He was like, he was shaking it. He was shaking. He had his phone in his hand. I don't know who he was talking to. I don't know what he was doing.
Harrison Ford?
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
Han Solo.
You know what I'm saying? Like these people, like it's because normally when judgment happened, it happened to the working class man, the working man. What happened in Lahaina last year? Was it last year? I believe it was last year.
It was last year.
Last year. It was early last year.
Like it was a minute ago.
Yeah, so it felt that way, but it was just last year. A lot of those wealthy people, their houses got spared. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that people. I'm talking about the people that we know, famous people we know. Some of their houses were colored in different colors, so the fire didn't attach their house. Prior knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But this year, a lot of people lost their shit. And then it's hard to really feel bad for these people because we don't know if they acted. I don't know if this niggas get paid to lie to me. You know, Han Solo, like the brother mentioned, Harrison Ford. He ain't the only one. It was a bunch of wealthy people. Paris Hilton, one of her houses, and it's hard to feel bad for her because she's an insider. All these people are lesser luminaries.
Yeah, right.
Her sister is married to one of the Rothschilds, so they already tapped in. Plus, she come from a family of inherited wealth from the Hiltons. So it's like, okay, bitch, you lost the house, bitch, but you didn't lose your livelihood. They showing pictures and shit. You got people, and it's hard to believe it. It's hard to believe that some of these people really stayed in these houses. But I did see Steve Gutenberg. He was a dude from Short Circuit, Police Academy.
Yeah.
And then I also saw Harrison Ford, and I saw a couple other people who was just like fucking coughing and shit. They smoke all. They look fucked up.
They shit fucked up.
Yeah, they look fucked up. You got people trying to save their houses and shit because those are investments too.
Yeah, right.
So even if it's not their only investment, it was a major investment. Now, we'll see. We ain't gonna know who got paid from them insurance companies, but I'm sure that a lot of them famous people on top on the list. The houses, you know what I'm saying, they're top of the list of, you know, I pay millions of dollars for this goddamn insurance. I expect you to be coming through. But then it was crazy because just a month before this shit happened, insurance companies were calling in, they fucking canceling premiums. Because they, like I said, these companies, they don't have the money that they say that they do to back their insurance. That's why even if you get, I've been in not as recently in my life, but it's been times where like I had a car insurance with USAA, and I called my car insurance in because my car was fucking destroyed, and they didn't want to pay it. They gave me hell and high water to pay that fucking not the deductible, but you call it the insurance premium in.
Yeah.
And when they called it in, they did everything in their power not to have to pay it, but they had to. But what ended up happening was you couldn't have insurance with them anymore.
They'll double your fucking premium.
Yeah, like now, Progressive. I got Progressive now. Progressive, for every year that you don't call in your premium, they're supposed to be giving you some type of reprieve or deduction in your premium rate for every year, right? So every year that you stay good on the road and you don't have to call them to put fix your car and shit, then they'll give you a reward. But you got to think about this too. The little $1,000 or $20,000 that people paying a month or even a year, because I think the insurance don't cover. The insurance premium ain't super expensive throughout the year for them kind of people. These companies can't pay it if something happens to their places. So it's really showing you that it's a hustle. Yeah, like you getting swindled through these insurance companies, right? Because these insurance companies are in a business of keeping money, not having to put it out. Now we got to put 20. They said that destruction, I think it's like over.
Yeah, like 20 something billion, and they only got like 380 something million.
They said it's 154 billion. Ooh, that's half of so-called Elon Musk's wealth. And then I know people look at these people like, well, these people got money, why they don't swoop in and help? First of all, if they swoop in and help, then you want to hook it up. That's the first thing. And they're not in a business of rebuilding better what was destroyed. They're not going to give you, they can't give you what you lost either, because they're not just covering physical damage. They're covering physical damage, they're covering mental damage, or health. Some people got hurt in them motherfucking fires and shit. And then property damage, personal damage. That's a lot of damage to cover that you claim you was going to do if I went in business with you and allowed you to be my insured. And it don't just happen there, brother. We just had, they had the fire last year in Maui. They had other, some shit.
Earthquake.
Yeah, earthquakes just happened. And then on top of that, you had the storms that happened last year. Them people still just pulling their shit together. And they going to the government, hoping that the government is going to pay them back what they lost. And they ain't. They slow to pay. That's a lot of destruction. So these are plagues the Lord is bringing. Destruction after destruction after destruction after destruction, bro. Yeah. And this is 2025, bro. I ain't never seen a year happen like this, brother.
Going down.
You know, so back in second Esdras, 15. Oh no, bring out what I actually bring out.
Amos.
Yeah.
Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come.
Sorry, read it again, brother. Amos what?
8:11.
Go ahead, bro.
Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh thy power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai.
Break it out, bro.
Yeah, so a famine is coming. Not of food, not of water, that's coming too. But the most significant famine that's going to hit this place is going to be a famine of hearing this truth. You know, as brother goes into sometimes, we're not going to be out here doing lessons and so forth and so on, because Yahweh Shema Shai is going to shut that off. That door of mercy that's wide open right now, it's going to be closed, you know, and that's it. That's how it's going to go down. That's the future prophecy. A famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor thirst for water, but of hearing. A famine of hearing these words. You're not going to be able to hear these words. You hear them now, you better take notes. You better repent. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh by Shemel Shai, and shall not find it. So you're going to be seeking it. Jacob's going to be seeking it. Romans 11 verse 7. You know, Jacob's going to be seeking it, but you ain't going to be able to find it. So you better get it now while we're giving it to you.
Yeah, not only that, it shows you how the Lord is going to be plaguing on multi levels.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Not just on a physical level, but on a spiritual level. You know what I'm saying? People are going to be lacking. And then what happens when people go through these kinds of destruction is the first thing they try to do is get spiritual. They want to seek the word of the Lord, right? They want to seek those that are providing the word of the Lord.
Yep.
And they ain't going to be able to do that, especially in a time of destruction like that. You know what I'm saying? You got it's already a cold ass winter in a lot of places. Well, shit. We just had the fires happening. It got hot as fuck in the West Coast from these fires, and then on the South and on the East, they got fucking frigid, bro. They got hit with hundreds of snow, right? But some brothers couldn't even go out in the Midwest and in the East and other places because of the weather was so inclement, man. Right? That it couldn't be. So these are started things that happen. You starting to see it, and then we already coming into the technological advances that Esau want to bring in when Trump get into office. It's going to be difficult for brothers from the apostles, the bishop elders, and us brothers on down to go out here and do this work and provide it for you. Why? Because that's the Lord putting that famine. So not only do you have these different types of destruction, the famine, death, destruction, then you won't have the famine of the word. There's a lot going on, man. Right? Like the brother just said, hey, get it while you can. Because why he's just saying it? Because it's going to come a time you're not going to be able to get it. Right? Back in 2nd Ezra 15 at 9. I'm going to read 8 again. I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they would vainly commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And that's talking about America. This is the land of Egypt. Get Revelation 11 and 8. Just to back that point up. This is the reason why these things are happening. From the destruction that the brother Kahanallah just brought out in the beginning when the Lord jumped on him, he just started going in about what's going on in LA. That's judgment. You know what I'm saying? And that the reason why the Lord is bringing that is because of the shit that they wickedly exercise. Not only just there, but all across Babylon. But Hollywood is a big purveyor of that wickedness. Right. A lot of them celebrities that people are feeling bad for, or their heart pouring out for, which they shouldn't be, are fucking witches and warlocks, man. So they're receiving a judgment for what they have done. Not just the famous, but even the unfamous and infamous ones who are catching hell over there, man. Yeah. Y'all been living on your high horse in these manicured neighborhoods that the average Jake couldn't even get in. You know what I'm saying? And
can't even drive through. Can't even drive through.
Yeah. Not comfortably.
Not comfortably.
Not comfortably. So it's like, so you want us to feel bad for you, but hey, the Lord said he tired of the bullshit. He tired of what y'all doing. And Hollywood is a major, has been for decades, bro, a major component of pushing out that wickedness, whether it be the deceit, the lies, the delusion. There's a lot of them celebrities that people feeling bad for are closeted pedophiles, murderers. Okay, they definitely closeted witches and warlocks. They go to them parties and they go do whatever they want to go do, right? Supposedly y'all worth $300 and $400 million, which we know that a lot of that's bullshit. They're not even worth that. A lot of them are in major fucking debt. So this shit came at a real inopportune time, and then just happened to famous people. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that video of the black Jake. He didn't even believe it was going to happen. He said that he's used to destruction happening every year, so he just went back to sleep. And his woman woke his ass up like, "No, nigga, get the fuck up. It's fucking happening." And then he said, "All right," they got their shit together. They left. He said, "We just come back, and our house is gonna be there." This nigga came back a few hours later. It was gone.
Up in smoke.
Everything's fucking gone, bro. So you can't have that spirit of normalcy bias on you, thinking that these things are not going to happen. We out here telling you warning you these things are going to happen, but the vast majority of people, they're in a state of normalcy bias, thinking that the destruction or whatever's coming to them is not going to be as detrimental, but it is.
Real quick precept, because that's the spirit that a lot of Jake is on, man. You tell Jake, you try to have a conversation with Jake in the world, man, and you bring out, major events that are happening in the world, and then you tell them, like, look, man, the Lord spoke about these things, and they try to play it down like, oh yeah, there's always been wars, there's always been this, we'll get through it, it's all right, but we come into a time where the Lord is really about to bring heavy judgment upon the world, man. And it's not gonna be like the other times where, oh yeah, we'll make it through. No, man, this is it,
Yeah, or just always gonna be a safety net for you to bounce back from.
That's right.
And these safety nets, they showing you that these safety nets are really stretched thin.
Yep.
Because every time something major like this happens, it's not just the state governments who are stretched thin, who are already stretched thin, but then you got the federal government. And they ain't going to give their subsidies, whether it's to be the federal or the state level, it's not enough to reimburse you for the major losses that you lost. And then you also got because they have checks and balances. So you just can't be writing anything on a paper claiming that this, that, and the third. They're not, first of all, insurance companies don't give you what you lost. They just give you a portion of what you lost. The state government, the federal government, they're not going to give you what you lost. They're going to give you a portion of what you lost. So if your house or your home was worth supposedly a market value of $300 million or some shit like that, you can better hope for $100,000. You know what I'm saying? If that. I'm just giving you, these are generous, conservative amounts. But you definitely not going to get that.
This is the book of Zephaniah 1 and 12. It says, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua will not do good, neither will he do evil. And that's, again, that spirit of normalcy bias, man. That they think, oh yeah, it's just,
Remember what he read it?
No.
Zephaniah 1 and 12.
Zephaniah 1 and 12.
Yeah, that normalcy bias spirit, man. Thinking that, oh, America's always gonna be here, yeah, there's gonna be hard times and shit, but we'll always remain. America will always remain. We'll always have enough time to make more money, to do more wickedness, or whatever it is that these people are into, and especially our people, man. Because sometimes, you have the elite of these other nations, they're more educated on economics and politics and all that stuff, and they see ahead, and they know, like, damn, something major is gonna happen economically or a war or whatever. But Jake is really in the delusion that the world, especially those that live here in Babylon the Great, that this country is just gonna keep on being the same no matter what happens around on the other side of the world, man. They think, oh yeah, I'm gonna just always be chasing the bag. We're gonna always, be better. Like we said in the New Year's Eve of Destruction lesson, you know, Jake is gonna start this year off with, oh yeah, we're gonna make more money, we're gonna do better, we're gonna, you know, making all these forward plans, and they're not including Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, in them. You know, they're not considering the word of the Most High and what He has prescribed for Babylon the Great, for the unbelievers of our people. You see, we just read that the unfaithful, the unbelievers of our people are gonna perish in their unbelief, man.
Let's go to your GMT app.
You see, but Jake again is in that normalcy bias spirit, and that's gonna get you destroyed, man, because you're not taking heed to what's important in these times, which is the warning of the Lord. We're not out here just to ruin your mood and to be fear mongers. No, man, we out here to what? To warn you of the things that are coming from the great judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And if you don't want to adhere to that warning, guess what's gonna happen? Nothing but judgment. So
Yeah,
don't come out here and start crying, oh, because hey, you don't want to listen to the Lord, then fuck it, suffer the judgment that comes behind it.
Yeah, not listening to the Lord, the reward of not listening. The reward for ignoring the Lord is not more prosperity, more protection.
That's right.
It's actually the loss of those things.
Zephaniah 1 verse 12, Good News Translation. At that time I will take a lamp and search Jerusalem. I will punish the people who are self-satisfied and confident, who say to themselves, the Lord never does anything one way or the other.
Yeah, and that's a lie. And you gotta to have that mindset that the Lord doesn't do anything good or bad or one way or another, like it said right there. That's the wrong concept. Because the Lord said prior to that, well, He gonna punish you that are self-satisfied. Because like we just said, the Spirit just had to say, the reward for ignoring the Lord, His word and His messengers is not a good reward. It's not more protection and more pleasure. It's going to be the lack of those things, and it's the opposite of those things. So instead of having pleasure, you're going to have extreme displeasure. Instead of having protection, you're going to have no protection at all. Hey, that house is that whole video, and maybe you know the Lord will have me do a video. These brothers will do a video. They'll look up that video where that Jake, they showed that only house that wasn't touched. Hey, that's symbolic to the elect. That house is symbolic to the elect, like Noah was the elect of his day. And they were in that, him and his family were inside that ark along with those animals. It wasn't that the animals were most important, it was the ones that was more important. The most important thing inside that vessel was Noah and his family. And why was Noah rewarded? Because Noah was found righteous in the sight out of sight of all his brethren that lived that day. All his family, all of those, because it wasn't just heathen nations that were destroyed. A lot of the sons of all of the sons of God were destroyed except for 8 of them. You know, Noah, Shem, Ham, with 4. It was 4. So 4 out of all the billions of people that was on the earth at that time, only 4 men survived that, man. And that was Noah and his sons, right? So that means that everybody else they were found one time without and in judgment. And that house that survived, I mean, it was nothing touched on it, brother. It was nothing touched on it. Not a singe, a fire, not a window broken, not a door knocked down. You know, and I would be remiss to say, nothing was taken out of it. And that was not only was that mercy, it was symbolic of the elect. Because when its fire comes and when its destruction comes, the elect don't have that to worry about. The elect is going to be preserved. That house is symbolic to the tabernacle of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Right? The tabernacle of David. Right? You see that all of the destruction was around it and nothing happened to that house. Now, we don't know who the owners of that house is, but we can use that as a symbolic illustration of how the Lord's going to protect and preserve his elect. Okay? Remember when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego got thrown in the fire? They said when Yahweh Shai was in there with them, said that when they came out of that, they didn't even smell like smoke. Right. They, not a garment was singed. There was no holes in their garment. It was like they was never even in it.
Well, even the man that threw them in burned.
Yeah. The men that were making the fire hotter, because it might have been. Well, I don't know if it was never. It had to be Nebuchadnezzar, right? Because he was,
Yeah.
yeah. It was early on in this nigga's rulership, and this nigga, he's like, make it hotter. Like, what the fuck? And it was like so hot that the guys that was trying to keep the flames going, that they fucking burnt up. You know what I'm saying? But yet, the ones who had faith and patience in Yahweh Shema was shot, and it took extreme faith for that. Because they were getting burnt in front of an audience, man. Like a live studio audience.
No, imagine that.
You know what I'm saying? They were getting burnt in front of a live studio audience, man. And guess what? Their faith was exhibited, man. And nothing happened. Everything else around them burnt. Everything, it said, I could be mistaken, but if you read the extension of the story, y'all know where to go at? Y'all know where the extension of that story is? I'm not actually going to look for it right now. I'm just asking questions.
No.
Any of you brothers know? Got to read the Apocrypha, man. What is it called? Go to the table of contents in the Apocrypha. I got it. It's right here. When you go to the table of contents of the Apocrypha, the rest of that story is in is it Susanna? The Prayer of Azariah. The edition of Esther is what of the Jeremiah? Yeah, it's in the Apocrypha. I want to say Susanna's one chapter, and it's just about her experience. But it could be. It was a. I have to look it up. But there's an extension of that story of it basically. It talks about the rest of their experience, but when you read the story of, I was about to make a point and I can't even remember it now. I know it had to be in there, but it talked more about their experience.
The prayer of Azariah.
Yeah, well, go ahead. What you got? What does it say? Did you see it?
Well, it says, but the angel of the Lord came down into the oven.
Well, hey, that's it. The water, my brother. The water.
Yeah,
So the prayer of Azariah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and that's a short. Because it started in the 20s, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm trying to see this. Oh, it started with 1. Where was you at?
Well, I guess we could start at 20. That's
Yeah,
when
go
we
ahead,
started
brother.
praying. It says, prayer of Azariah 1 and 20.
You
It
might
says,
want to find out where he's reading at, so you can mark it too. And then y'all might throughout the week, brother, y'all might want to read that in conjunction with the rest of that was written in Daniel. You starting at 20, verse 20.
Verse 20.
So you might want to follow along, but in your downtime, you brothers, y'all got to start reading these. Y'all got to start reading the scriptures, brother. This is why the apostles and the elders and the bishop brothers, the apostles and the bishop elders and even other brothers, heads of camps and even other younger brothers who the Spirit is on. When you do your lessons, brother, there's a myriad. That's why the apostles, the reason why we tell you brothers to lock in, right? What does that mean to lock in? Is to make sure you subscribe to the apostles, the bishop elders, and all the other brothers around the world's pages. And not only just them, but even your camp heads. Because there's a lot of information that's being put out always, and you can glean from those lessons, and you can do your own lessons. You should read the scriptures more, too. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be familiar with what you call the Old Testament and portions of the Apocrypha and then the New Testament. But read these books, because these books, another thing too, Apostle Gabar always gets on all of us, tells us that, hey brother, when you listen to these videos and you hearing these precepts come out, write them down. Why? So you can go back and read those books and those verses, so you can be more familiar with it, and that's going to help build you up in the spirit. So you won't be just talking about the same thing over and over again in your lessons. Some of you brothers you're not familiar with certain portions of the Bible. That ain't your leader's fault. That's your fault, because you're not practicing initiative. You're not taking initiative. Neither are you taking the time to read, to understand what you're reading, because you are a teacher. You brothers ain't just readers. Reader is one level. You go from being a reader to a teacher. So that's why from time to time, and these brothers switch off for me, and now open up camp, like this brother is doing right now. And then the spirit jump on him, he starts speaking about certain things, and then the spirit jump on himself, this brother, and then we start feeding off each other. Then you get questions, you ask questions like, hey, are you familiar with this? Right? The reason why I was familiar with that because sometime in my walk, I came across this, or an elder or an apostle came across this, and they spoke about these things, and they was able to put them together. Why? Because these things are written for our learning. You're supposed to constantly learn, and if you're not taking the time or the effort to read beyond what certain topics that you find pleasing, and listen, brothers too. Just because you like certain brothers, and that's cool, because I get like that sometimes too. There's certain brothers I'm more inclined to listen to throughout the week. You gotta listen to a lot of brothers, man. Even brothers that you ain't even familiar with, because the spirit is on all these brothers. It's Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah that's talking. It ain't me. I ain't got no personal vendetta against these brothers or any other brother. But it shows if certain questions pop up, we've been walking with each other for over 4 or 5 years, and you ain't even familiar with certain stories in the Bible. What you doing with the rest of your time? Okay, so again, it behooves you, not just these brothers, but all you other brothers out there watching and listening right now, live or later as it's recorded. Hey, brother, search these scriptures, bro. Okay? Rightfully divide these scriptures because they help. Okay? We're talking about faith. We're talking about the elect. Them brothers, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that's not even their Hebrew names. Right? You got to know what their Hebrew names are, what they mean. Those are their Babylonian names. But I'm just giving that because that's what most people are familiar with. But when you read these scriptures, I think Azariah, he was one of the ones that was thrown in the fire. I think his name was changed to Abednego. I believe so. But guess what? You can look it up. Don't take my word for it. Like, I don't know if brothers are familiar with Reading Rainbow, LeVar Burton. He used to always say, don't take my word for it, read for yourself. And the scripture says, blessed is he that readeth, man. And when you read, you need to read with understanding. Because these things are an example for us today. Guess what, brothers? We're about to be thrown into a fire. A big, big, big fire. So we're hoping that the Lord don't, he'll leave us unscathed like he did that house. Like he did those men that had all that faith. Okay? But if you don't know the story, you ain't familiar with the story, how's that going to help you in your walk? That don't make no sense. We was talking about this last week. I think this brother had brought it up. He was like, look, man, you got all the tools to use to help you in your walk, but if you ain't going to use it, what the fuck is the use of the tools? It don't make no sense. The things that are written beforehand were what? Were written for our learning. Right? Some people don't have to necessarily go through that experience, but just reading their experience or listen to this experience, this brother can learn from you. This brother can learn from it. I can learn from it. Because who the fuck wants to be thrown in a hot ass fire? I don't want to go through that shit, but guess what? We're going to go through it. We're going to see them nuclear missiles coming, and they're going to be dropping down in certain areas, or exploding over certain areas, and that fire's going to be coming down hot. And then just in the nick of time, Yahweh Shai and the angels going to be there with a chariot pulling brothers out of that fire. And guess what? That's a testimony. That's going to be written for our children to learn and read from. Like, oh man, those brothers had faith.
That's right.
You got it.
This prayer of Azariah 1:20, it says, deliver us according to thy marvelous works, and give glory to thy name, O Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, and let all them that do thy servants hurt be ashamed, and let them be confounded in all their power and might, and let their strength be broken, and let them know that thou art the Most High, the only power and glorious over the whole world.
Yeah, because when this is the Lord exercising his power, showing his power, how he is marvelous and merciful to save, even in the time of judgment, in the time of his wrath, because this all is wrath. Go ahead.
Verse 23, and the king's servants.
Verse 22. That was verse 22, so 23.
Yeah.
Where mine's is on yours said 22 too, right?
22.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes in some of these translations, it'll have like, so where yours says 20, it starts at that verse that you're reading is 22, and our version is 22. I'm in 23, and our version is 22. So yeah, sometimes it be off like that. Hey, you'll see that this brother likes to go to the Good News Translation a lot. Sometimes when you go to the Good News Translation, you're gonna find that certain verses are missed from the KJV. You see that before? Yeah, it happened to me a lot of times. I was like, what? Wait a minute, this makes no sense. But go ahead, you got it, brother.
It says, and let them know that thou art the Most High, the only power, and glorious over the whole world. And the king's servants that put them in cease not to make the oven hot with rosin, pitch, tow, and small wood.
Yeah, so because on my app, when you was reading that, it says, let me read this real quick. Verse 22, it says, and the king's servant that put them in it cease not to make the oven hot with the rosin pitch, tow and small wood, so that the flame streamed forth above the furnace 40 and 9 cubits.
That's what I got.
And that was that what you was reading that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It had me mixed up. That's why I ain't. I was like, read it. I'm going to listen to you. Read it, brother.
It says, so that the flame streamed forth above the furnace 40 and 9 cubits, and it passed through and burned those Chaldeans it found about the furnace.
Yeah, because them Chaldeans weren't protected. Them Chaldeans, those niggas, they weren't protected like them brothers in that fire. So here it is, they out here making the fire hot, and that's what 2/3 are doing. And that one Jake said, God doesn't like us.
That's right.
That's how he felt. He like, God doesn't like us. Everybody, she's like, why do you think that house was saved and everybody else's house is burnt? Well, I think she said, all your houses are burnt. She said, God doesn't like us. But wait a minute, I bet before his house was on fire, he thought that the Lord was with him. Right. He might have been in some type of prosperity, or experiencing some prosperity, and could have swore up and down the Lord was with him.
I'm blessed.
Yeah, I'm blessed. Niggas good for saying that, I'm blessed. But then he found out in that day he wasn't. Yeah. And the Lord can have mercy on who he want to have mercy on. Not saying that person whose house that was in there, not saying that person who's living in that house is a man or a man of the Lord, is a part of the elect. We don't know who lived in that house. But that man had a sobering reality that day, that the Lord is not with him.
That's right.
And that's going to either do one of two things. It's going to humble him to seek the Lord, or it's going to harden his heart even more and say the Lord and be more rebellious against the Lord. And then his ass is going to be burnt, because guess what? That house was saved for that moment. But guess what? When America is destroyed, that house ain't going to be surviving. It ain't going to be nothing standing. Everything's going to be turned to ash. I don't know, y'all saw some of them videos. There was even cars still left after the rubble. The frame of the car. Well, when the Lord brings his nuclear missiles here to America, not even that's going to be standing. It ain't going to be no skeletons of cars. It ain't going to be no blue cars not hit by the fire, or red cars or white cars not hit by the fire. No. All that shit's going to be turned into the elements, back to the base elements.
That's right.
Okay?
That's the same thing that happened in Maui.
Yeah.
I know one of those fires. There were some houses that didn't get touched.
Yep.
And some cars that didn't get touched.
Blue cars. There was a lot of them blue cars.
Yeah.
You saw the charred remains of other cars around it, but the blue car was just straight. There was nothing happening there. It was just sitting there, waiting for somebody to turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, verse 26, it says, but the angel of the Lord came down into the oven together with Azariah and his fellows.
And that angel that came down was Yahushua. He was in there. He was in there with them. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Read it again, my brother.
But the angel of the Lord came down into the oven together with Azariah and his fellows, and smote the flames of the fire out of the oven, and made the midst of the furnace as it had been a moist or whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor troubled them.
So it's crazy. On the outside, the people looked and thought, this furnace is hot as shit. They could see the flames. But in the inside, it was like a cool mist. And these brothers was just, and the Lord was what? He was flaming on fires outside of the inside of that fire. So he was just like, it was like somebody going like this, move away. And then the fires moved away, and all that was left was a cool mist. You know what I'm saying? And you know that water puts out fires.
That's Jake's style. Only a Jake could do something like that, or even think that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yahushua.
I seen a picture of a firefighter, like I guess it's like a controlled environment, where they have like a flamethrower, I guess, and then they come with the hose.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it has like a special way of shooting the fire where it kind of makes like a sphere. Like when it shot that hose, it kind of makes like a shield of water.
Oh wow.
So that kind of reminded me of that. I'm gonna see if I can look it up after and show you, brothers. But it says and made the midst of the furnace as if it had been a moist whistling wind, so that the fire touched them not at all, neither hurt nor troubled them. Then the three, as out of one mouth, praised, glorified, and blessed the power in the furnace, saying,
Yeah, so here it is. And then, guess what? We're going to be doing the same thing too. When that fire is hitting this place, when you see that fire, and we, Lord willing, we part of the elect, and we're beamed up, what you think we're going to be just like this? Like, oh, no, we're going to be praising the Lord. From out of that fire into the midst of that chariot. That's how, that's faith. You had something, brother?
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been practicing visualization lately. Apostle Gabar gave a lesson on that. Visualization, you see something in your mind's eye, and then you see it. And I would have just imagined, just speaking as a man, it says, then the three, as out of one mouth, praise, glorify, and bless the Most High in the furnace, saying, Blessed art thou, O Yahweh, thy power of our fathers.
So they were saying, Barakatah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Allah, Abba, Now, Abba, Allah, or Abba, Allah Nawa, man, which is the fire. Excuse me, brother, I'm sorry. I'm just speaking it in Hebrew, what they were saying. So they were just similar to what you're going to be saying.
Yeah, and I'm just speaking as a man. I would imagine visualizing this. Could it be possible that Yahweh Shai allowed himself to be seen by these three in the fire, so that when they saw him, they began to throw up the praise?
No, he was in there with him.
Yeah, he was in there with him.
No, they did see him.
Yeah,
But they were praising the Lord. They were praising
exactly. Yeah,
because during that time, Yahweh Shai name he wasn't born during that time, so they were praising Yahweh.
Yeah,
but his son was in that fire with him.
Yeah, they were giving praise towards what they saw.
No, they were giving praise to Yahweh.
To Yahweh.
They weren't giving praise to what they saw. They were giving praise to the Heavenly Father through his son, because he was in there with them, and they could tell that the Lord was protecting them.
That's right.
So they were praising the Lord. It wasn't so much they gave them the eyesight to see him in there. They knew he was the angel in there. They knew that, but where did that angel come from? Who did that angel come from? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
So they were praising the Lord for saving their lives, man.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure that other fire, other people probably was pride in them being thrown in that fire, or other people that was rebellious against the Nebuchadnezzar and his idol got thrown in that fire, and they burnt the fuck up to a crisp. But them brothers didn't, because why? Because their faith was found in the right place. Their faith was found in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right? Sorry, brother.
It says, then the three, as out of one mouth, praised, glorified, and blessed.
So that means they were praising together. They were all together saying it. You know, y'all brothers familiar with the elder Menachas Akbar videos from the Bay. And when they be early on in the videos, you be like, you hear brothers saying, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahweh Shai. It sounds like one person is talking, but it's really a multitude of many. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah.
Says,
that's how it was in that fire.
Then the three, as out of one mouth, praised, glorified, and blessed the Most High in the furnace, saying, Blessed art thou, O Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, power of our fathers, and to be praised and exalted above all forever. And blessed is thy glorious and holy name, and to be praised and exalted above all forever.
That's right.
Blessed art thou in the temple of thine holy glory, and to be praised and glorified above all forever.
Yeah, and again, those brothers are an example to us today living. How much more this fire? Because this fire is going to be a whole lot hotter than that fire that those brothers was in.
That's right.
This fire that's coming is going to be a whole lot more powerful than that. But guess what? Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to protect his elect. Absolutely. I believe it.
Right.
I know it in my heart, and I believe it in my heart. Because it was written beforehand. And it's saying, it's letting us brothers here know today that if the Lord did that for those brothers back then, how much for us brothers today? Right? And remember, the Lord said He's going to be in that Most High Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua is going to be in that fire too. He going to making it hotter. Like those, but instead of Him, the Lord is a consuming fire, so He's not going to burn. But instead of those, those Chaldeans that was making it hotter, it's symbolic to the Lord making this fire, this nuclear fire hotter. But the Lord's not going to burn up. And those three brothers, those elect brothers, those Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or Azariah, and his brothers, because those are Daniel's best friends. They were all friends. I think they were all friends. They might have been family, because they all came out of Judah, right? I believe so. So they was like, but them brothers had faith, man. So how much more us brothers today? The things that are written beforehand were written for our learning, so that we here could have that same hope. That when the fire comes down here, hey, Yahweh Shai is going to be with us. Yes, He's coming back. Just like He did with those brothers in that fire. He was there with them. He was in that fire with them. They saw the Lord. They saw Him. We're going to see the Lord coming back, standing on that chariot. And Lord willing, He's going to break us up out of that fire. We're going to be like this. Going up, man. I'm telling you, bro. Because I don't see brothers like just, we just casually standing there like this. Oh, brother, a tractor being going one of us, brother, we gonna be like this, like a baby. You know how a baby with their arms up?
Reaching.
That's right, brother. We're gonna be reaching. That's right. You got it, brother.
That was
it
on that one, but I had this one, Job 5:19, because like the hell is going into, man, you have to have faith, because that's ultimately what's gonna move you to do the works of the Lord, man. And ultimately, faith is what's gonna help you overcome all the trials of faith that's gonna come. The reason it's called a trial of our faith is why, because we're gonna have obstacles to overcome.
Yep, I got
and those obstacles is not just gonna be a walk in the park. It's not gonna just be like, oh yeah, I caught some hell from my boss, or like, nah, man.
2 minutes behind.
Have to go through.
The camera 2 minutes behind.
I am.
Oh, okay. It don't matter.
Well, 1 minute 14 seconds actually.
We actually gonna have to overcome great tribulation, man. The scriptures say the saints shall scarcely be saved. So it's like we're gonna have to go through things that we've never even imagined, man. Yeah, and this is why we always constantly tell brothers, like, look, man, it might not seem like we're going through much, although brothers definitely catch hell, but compared to the things that are gonna happen, it's like it's not really that much. You start reading 2nd Ezra, the 15th, the 16th chapter, man. You read scriptures like Jeremiah 11:11, where the Lord speaks about that He's bringing an evil that they shall not be able to escape. Speaking about the 2/3, obviously, but you start meditating on those things. Daniel 12:1, there shall be a time of trouble like there never was since there was a nation. If you really meditate on those things, you're like, damn, bro, like the Lord's about to bring hell upon the earth, and we're gonna have to walk through all of that, man.
Yeah, like I said right here in Daniel, I think it's 12:1. The day is it?
Yeah.
The day shall burn as Malachi 4:1. Yeah, I got it. Malachi 4:1. It says, behold, the day cometh that shall burn as oven. And all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
It's going to be hot.
But unto you that fear the name, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in His wings, and shall go forth and grow up as calves in the stall.
That's right, man. So hey, it's gonna be a day, the great and
dreadful day
of the Lord, man. So it's not gonna be a walk in the park, and something that I always say,
yes,
through the Spirit, we already won, because of the sacrifice that Yahweh Shai did, man. But guess what? We got to take this flesh through the finish line.
Yes,
and
sir.
that's where, like the saying in the world, that's where the rubber meets the road,
I
man.
was just thinking that
Because
in my head.
once that tribulation, once
You don't need to
pain,
open it, just have it on deck.
Oh,
once pain comes and starts testing us, that's when your spirit has to overcome the flesh, man. You know, it's easy to say, well, yeah, you know, when we're gonna lose family members and we're gonna lose sons and daughters. It's easier said than done, but the trial of your faith is not knowing that it's gonna happen. Is what when it happens, how you gonna overcome, and that's where your faith has to kick in, man.
Yeah, that's why the scripture says, through the terror of the Lord, we persuade men.
terror.
And the Lord also said that he has given us the spirit of fear. These things are fearful things. That's the terror of the Lord. But he gave us the spirit of courage to endure these things, to have to go through these things. You know, like the priest on my left right here was saying, he was saying that he spoke about Apostle Gabar's visualization.
Yeah.
Being able to visualize these things. So not only are we going to physically go through these things, but we can visualize these things early on, and even just the mere visualization of that,
Scary.
It's scary as shit. I'm scared right now.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
Right now.
Me too, bro. Me too. I go through this shit right now,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
ain't want to
feel
say
it in
that
my
now.
arms. Yep.
I ain't want to say that, bro. But hey, that's the spirit.
Yep,
Hey,
yep. I
I'm
got
scared,
chicken
bro.
skin
I'm
right
fucking
now,
scared
yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
bro. Because I don't want to go through that shit.
Hell no.
But we're gonna go through it. We're gonna live.
Yeah.
We're gonna live it. Why? But while we live it, we were reading about other brothers who were protected in that. You think Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or Azariah and his brothers weren't afraid of that? Hell yeah. But they wasn't. Their fear didn't override their faith.
That's right.
You see, and that's the difference. Our faith is gonna override that fear. When that day, when we all thought the nuclear missiles was gonna hit Hawaii, bro, I was
thinking that
scared.
earlier, yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was in the middle of my living room and I was like, shit, what to do? I had a split second of, man, what should I do? And then the Lord just overcame me.
Yeah.
Hey, go do the work, man. What the fuck you mean? What you gonna do? Do the work. Put your garment on. Yep, that's right. Do what you've been doing. And exercise your faith.
Right.
So that even if it come, I'm ready because I know I was doing what the Lord told me to do. I'm fully persuaded in my heart.
Me too.
I'm
Yeah,
fully
that's right.
persuaded. I already know what time it is, but I hope that the Lord continues to keep me fully persuaded.
That's right.
See, that's the thing. And that's why the apostles and the bishop elders admonishing us to do the work, do the work, do the work. And letting brothers know that, hey, some brothers that's walking with us, they ain't going to be walking with us for 2 months longer because they ain't pulling their weight. Right? Your fear of the Lord, your fear, your joy, your hope, your faith in Yahweh Shem Shai should drive you to be in overdrive. Every year, we've been together, me and these brothers been together for almost a decade. We've been together for almost a decade. And every year, it's the same thing. The apostles get on us about doing the work. Get on, why? Because that's a part of your faith. That's a part of your hope. And it gives you experience.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? You don't just, it ain't just, okay, I'm just doing my lessons, I'm just doing a lesson for the sake of doing it. No, it's because I fear the Lord first. I have faith in the Lord second. So I want to do this thing. And it's not a task. These brothers, I don't even got to talk to these brothers. These brothers like on autopilot. I'll be watching a lot of people fly planes. That's my thing now. Under the Lord, for some reason, he got me into chariots in the air. You know what I'm saying? And I just be watching how these different pilots, first of all, they got to stay up on their training. They can't slack on their training. If they do, their training has to be updated damn near every 6 months. Right? So it's literally twice a year. They have to go out. They got to fly the plane. They got to exercise their skills in the plane. They got to make sure that they up to date on their skills, and they got to make sure they up to date on their what did I was just saying?
The training.
Yeah. Throughout it, brother. They got to make sure they up to date on their training. They can't lax a minute in that. So they got to get out there and fly. This one dude, he just looked at the weather and said, "Oh, this is a good time to get my hours in." And that's how we do. We look at the weather, which is the prophecies that's going on around us. Oh, that's a good opportunity to get my hours in.
I do that, Slovakia. Well, sometimes when I walk outside, if it's a nice day, I'll say, "Oh, it's a good day to do the GMS Hawaii walking talk."
Yep.
So it's similar to that.
Yeah, and this brother, I caught this brother Thursday. I was like, oh shit. You know, I'm always getting on this brother behind the scenes, like not always, but more than enough. Like, hey brother, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. When I saw that brother Sean on Thursday, I was like, oh shit. Hey, brothers is listening. We on autopilot, bro.
Gotta be.
You gotta be on autopilot in this thing to And when being autopilot don't just be a drone, it's just saying like, look, I see something that's going on around me. Let me speak about it through the scriptures. Let me edify. Hey, that happened to me last night, brothers. I was late, so I knew y'all was asleep, but I had saw a picture. I just saw this picture that exemplified one of the curses, which is the curse of our people being going in one way against our enemies and fleeing 7 ways from our enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And then the spirit just jumped on me to just do the lesson. And I had pre-recorded it, and I thought it was good. And then I put it up, premiered it, and it had no damn volume on it. I was mad as shit. But then the Lord said, I was pissed off, bro.
Yeah.
I went outside, bro. I had to take a walk. I had to get on my computer, bro. I went outside, brother, and I just stood there. And I was shaking my head. I'm looking at the sky, looking at the chariot in the sky, looking at the moon. I'm sitting like, shit, man. And I'm over there soaking. And then the Lord said, go live, man. Make it a live show. He did. He just pushed it. Yeah. He just put it on me, man. And all the precepts that I did, all the precepts that I pre-recorded came back to me, but even more precepts came to me when I went live. So it was really the spirit of the Lord, just touch it. Because sometimes, brother, we can get angry. You be like, "Fuck, man! I just did a whole lesson, man." You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody gonna hear it. But then the Lord said, "Hey, do it live, man." And you see how simple that was? And it came out. It was even more edifying because the spirit was hot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I was holding the book of Job because, again, speaking on faith, faith is what's going to help us overcome. And we got to understand and know that the Lord's going to deliver us from these things, man. Something that the Lord told us is what? Well, our forefathers and the prophets prayed to the Lord for was what? Understanding. So that when judgment happens, these things happen, we have an understanding of why things are happening. And that ultimately, if we believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, we're going to overcome. So this is Job, verse 5 and verse 19. It says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee.
And that's a promise.
That's it.
And we in that 6th trump. We right in between.
Man.
We at the end of that 6th trump, going into that 7th, and that's when that right there, and that's a promise.
Right.
So that's letting us know that, hey, look, brothers, hey, when this thing go down, I'm gonna be with y'all.
That's right. Have faith.
All you gotta do is have faith, baby. And Yahweh Shai said it just gotta be the faith of a mustard seed. And we know that mustard trees, they grow big shit. They grow big. Those are big trees. I ain't never seen one in real life. But every time I hear Yahweh Shai say that, reading the scriptures, I'm like, yo, I might have to look it up. Shit, we might have to do a lesson or something like that.
Yeah, that's powerful.
You know what I'm saying? Because that mustard seed, just that little bit of faith. All you got to do is have that little bit of faith, brother. Right. You know what I mean? And that little bit of faith go a long way. And it's strong, too. You can't just cut no mustard tree down like this. You know how you walk through the woods and you hit them small trees, you just knock them down and step on them. Nah, you can't do that with no mustard tree, buddy.
That's right. And
look up a mustard tree, full-grown mustard tree. Just to show the image, brother.
I'm sure there's situations, what's happened to me, in the world where your faith, it helps you, your faith, your show of faith, it makes you stand out.
Look at that shit.
Above other people, man.
Look how big that tree is, bro. Yeah. Look at the show current. Look how big that tree is.
That's a
big ass tree. That's bigger than these joints.
Hey, show the
camera. Yeah, hell yeah, bro. And Ron said you can sleep under that. Hell yeah, bro.
You can sleep under that.
Yeah.
Tent and everything.
Yeah.
A family.
Yeah. A whole family.
Your wife and kids.
A couple of families.
Yep. For real.
Shit, all of us and our families. We can camp out around that joint, bro. That's how big that thing is. And then
there's bigger ones.
Look. I like this one.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look how big that damn tree is, bro. Yes. I told you that ain't no tree you could just knock down like that, bro.
Nah.
And that's believe them roots are strong. To hold up a tree like that, them roots got to be huge.
Yeah, bro. I wish I knew what he was saying when he said that.
And that's the kind of faith that we're going to have. So that now you look up a mustard seed. Just look up a mustard tree seed and see what it looks like.
And if you don't have that faith, it's important. You can pray to Yahweh Shema Shai for that
faith.
And he'll give it to you,
and
Lord willing.
And that's what the apostles be saying. That's what the apostles, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar. For some reason,
Apostle Rakah.
And Apostle Hamla. All the apostles and in the bishop elders, that's why they were getting on us about it, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's like the brother said, if you ain't got the faith, if you feel like you don't have the faith, you can pray for that.
Pray for it.
You can pray for that. Just a mustard seed. So that's a mustard seed. So that big tree, y'all both go. That big tree, this big tree, stemmed from that little mustard seed right there. That little mustard seed
So the seed.
germinated and grew
There we
that
go.
big, strong tower of a tree.
Woo!
All of that, that's faith. That's the kind of faith the Lord said we gotta have. Even if you had the faith of a mustard seed, brother,
A little bit.
it can move a mountain. We're looking at a mountain range in front of us, bro. We're literally standing on one, but we're looking at one. Our faith can move that mountain and it'll go.
That's heavy, bro. That's heavy.
Right. And that's the faith. That's why the apostles is getting on us about, hey, brothers, do the work, man.
Do the
Because
work.
you got brothers out that's just riding the coattail, man. You can't be riding the coattail. You gotta take a lot of, this truth requires a lot of self-initiative. That's a title.
And
So lesson.
self-discipline.
That's right, brother. That's right, man.
Because I've learned through experience, the more lessons I do, the more my faith builds, the more confident you become in this truth, the more confident you become in Yahweh Shem Shai, and then you want to do more.
And you're becoming a more confident speaker too. Both you brothers,
I
man.
try, man.
I
Yeah.
remember when y'all brothers first came in, brothers was quiet,
Timid.
looking at
I was
timid and
timid.
shit.
I was timid and shit.
Yeah. The brothers was timid and quiet and reading,
Yep.
but they wouldn't say nothing. They would just read and listen. Oh, they be,
Yep.
now the brothers, the spirit jumping on
Be
brothers,
anxious. Can't wait to speak.
and the brothers speak
Yeah.
with confidence now.
You have to.
It's called
yeah.
growth.
And we speak with boldness.
Yeah.
The scriptures say we'll be bold as lions.
Yeah.
Because we know who we represent. We represent Yahweh Shem Shai. So he gives us that spirit to be bold. And if you don't have it, pray for it.
Yeah, just
you can
pray
pray
for
for
it.
everything.
I'll get that real quick. It says
You
the
know?
Most High gives liberally.
Yeah, you can pray
Pray
for
without
everything,
wavering,
man.
yeah.
If you lacking in anything, just pray to Yahweh Shem Shai sincerely, and Lord willing, he will give it to you.
Hey, this is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
The book of James. It's like James. You already there?
No, I'm looking, following you.
James 1, verse 5. Go ahead and read it.
James 1 verse 5, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High.
Start at 4.
Start at 4. James 1 verse 4, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Read that in NLT.
NLT? Ooh, NLT is fire. If you need wisdom, ask our generous power.
Yeah.
Who's our generous power?
Yahweh
Shem Shai. And he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking.
Yeah, don't be scared to ask, bro.
Don't be scared to
Don't be
ask.
scared to ask. Yo, I understand, brothers, because I think I might have heard Elder Kazak say this on my way here while he was speaking. It might have been him, it might have been, I believe it was another brother. Long story short, it was the Spirit of the Lord speaking. And it's, brothers be like, hey, be careful when you ask for faith, because the Lord had you go through something where your faith got to be exercised. So that you get scared. You be scared to ask for faith because you're like, oh, we'll go through that shit. I go through that sometimes. I'm like, you got to ask, bro. But then the Lord had something happen, or he'll have me in the middle of another prayer, ask for faith. Just ask for it.
Hey, testimony.
Yeah.
Right? I used to do that, and I thought about this when I was in the hospital many a nights. When I would be at work, working nights, I would walk around asking the Lord for faith. And then when I was going through my thing, I'll be laying in the bed thinking to myself, did I ask for this?
Yeah.
Did I?
You did.
Maybe I did.
The Spirit had you ask for
And
it.
he gave it to me.
But you can't. But again, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for it, bro.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
I'm saying that to myself first.
Yeah.
To these brothers and you brothers, don't be afraid to ask for faith, brother.
Because it'll come.
Because you're going to go through the experience, but the Lord going to give you the
And you
power,
need it.
the strength to get through
Yeah,
it.
we
And
need
that's
it.
because, like the brother said, you need it.
You need it.
That muscle, faith is a muscle
Yeah.
that has to constantly be exercised.
Yeah.
You can't just have faith one day and then think that's okay, I'm maxed out. No, you're gonna have to go through another level of situations that reinforces that faith. We all gonna have to go through that. And I know it's scary.
It is scary.
But guess what? Don't be afraid. Because the Most High who gives liberally will give you the ability to do it.
That's heavy,
Right.
right?
And it's like, you go through things on your daily lives that you need to have faith in yourself. Like, I do construction, and when I first started, it was like I would take on small projects. But then obviously small projects,
grow.
you know, yeah, you need to grow, make some more money or whatever. So you're gonna put yourself out there in a situation where,
yes,
well, I can't do these patches no more because I need more money, so I need to take on a bigger project.
Yes.
Let me ask this guy that I know he has work to give me a big project.
Yeah.
That's a sign of faith, of
A
believing
leap
in
of faith.
yourself. You know, like I think I could take on this because I've been
yeah.
doing this, you know, my whole
you
life.
got
So
faith
I-
in one's own abilities.
That's right. So and
Yes.
you have to go in that project, and obviously it's not gonna be easy. You're gonna probably fuck up. You're gonna probably end up losing money on that project or at the gym. You know, if you want to hit a personal record, you're not gonna go straight away and I'm gonna lift these 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're training for 1, 2, 3 years, and your goal is like, one day I want to lift this much,
You better
know,
work
weight.
towards it.
So you walking little by little, and
Yeah.
then one day you're like, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. You might not do it. You're gonna have a spotter or whatever, and you might come down and lift it halfway, and then your spotters is gonna help you. But guess what? You tried it, you know, and
tried.
through practicing that workout, you're gonna get to it eventually. So the spirit again, the reason why you have to be in the Word, have to study, have to pray, you know, fast, all these things. The Lord gave us these what'd you call them? These tools, yeah, kind of the water, but these tools for what? So that we can get stronger in the spirit.
They
man.
grow.
So
They
that
grow,
so
right?
that when we do ask for something bigger, for more faith, for more wisdom and knowledge, we can overcome, even though it's a hard obstacle to overcome.
Yeah, because you look at you think about your past experiences, and as arduous and as grievous as it may have felt, you be afraid, like you be afraid. You think about the fear that as you was growing in that faith, but you should also remember not just the fear, but the growth that came from that.
That's right.
So that will encourage you to say, you know what? Well, I've been through this situation. I've been through a hard situation before. Hey, the Lord was going to give me the strength to make it. He tells you, get that precept where it says, He will not put more on you than you're able to withstand, something like that. But with it all, make a way for you to escape.
No pain, no gain.
That's right, brother. No pain, no gain, man. And so you got to go through that.
You gotta go.
Right? You
through
don't just get a monumental situation that you thrown in, and then now all of a sudden I got the faith that I need. No, those situations give you the strength and the experience and the patience.
Yes.
Because patience breeds experience. He gives you the patience to get through it, bro.
Yeah.
So ask the Lord. No, there's no
Ask.
reason. Look, you're not tempting the Lord by asking the Lord to give you more faith, brother. You're not tempting the Lord by asking the Lord to give you more patience.
Oh, because guess what? I just got this. When you ask the Lord for whatever you need, Yahweh Shemashai is not just going to give you what you need. It's a package. He's going to give you what you need, and he's going to give you the way out.
Yeah.
So
Escape.
he's already 2 steps ahead of you.
Yeah, you're already 2 steps ahead of
You know
him.
what I'm saying?
And more cases, 3 and 5.
3 and 5.
So it's like, bring that.
Yeah.
precept up, brother.
This is 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 13. It says, "There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but with the temptation also
That's
make
it.
a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it."
Yeah, and that's what it is.
That's it.
The Lord's going to give us a way to escape so that we may be able to bear whatever we're going through. Read that in the NLT. Ariel.
1 Corinthians 10:13 NLT. The temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. Ooh, that's worth reading again. The temptations in your life are no different from what others experience.
Yeah, so like brothers, you might be going through something. Don't think that you're the only one that's going through it, or like this is some newly made situation. Because that temptation is a situation that'll either tempt you to go to the right or go to the left, right? But we hoping that it's enough to get you to stay on the right path.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, so that you can grow from the situation, not go back into the world on the left side. But the point of the matter is that it ain't like it's just happening to you, brother. Just because this
That's
brother
right.
ain't talk about his situation, don't mean that he didn't go through that. Or this brother is going through a situation, don't mean that the brother, you know what I'm saying, don't have the skills to get through it. You know what I mean? It ain't like it's going to always be a repeated situation.
That's
just
right.
you're going through a different situation. It may be harder than the ones you came out of. But the Lord he also, like the brother said, it's a package deal.
It's a package deal.
I'm giving you both patience, faith, and hope, and I'm giving you the way out, which is Him, which is Yahweh Shemel Shai. Go ahead and read, brother. I'm sorry, who was reading?
I was reading. It's 1 Corinthians 10:13 NLT. And the Most High is faithful. And here's the point. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand.
Yeah, so whatever you're going through, it ain't like the Lord's going to give you something that is going to break you totally.
Yeah, he ain't just throwing you out there.
It's going to break you and it's going to recover. You're going to recover.
Yeah.
You're going to recover. He's going to give you the out and recover. But you have to go through this. You got to.
Yeah.
That's why give me the other scripture in Acts where it says through much tribulation, he confirming the souls of the disciples, and it was Paul was letting the disciples know, not just because he's apostle, then he had all of us are disciples, and all of us are apostles. The apostles teach us that. The word apostle means to be sent forth. We're all constantly learning. We went from a discipleship, now we're in the apostleship. But those two ships are interchangeable with one another, right? You're always in the state of discipleship because you're learning. And you're always in the state of apostleship because you're teaching. Go ahead, brother.
Right, and real quick, the scriptures say, acceptable man in gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable man in the furnace of adversity.
Precept when he first came in.
Yeah.
Bring it out. Go to it real quick. Hold on, brother. Go to that. What's that? Ecclesiasticus 2.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sirach chapter
That's
2.
right.
Yeah, he's
Ecclesiastes chapter 2.
All those things that that brothers experience is to what? To build up our faith.
That's right.
Man.
That's right.
The scriptures say that the Lord chastises those that He loves. Why? So that we could learn from those experiences, man.
This one got me through the hospital.
Like we always say, each brother goes through a different experience, but that's tailor made for you, man.
Yep.
You know, some of us have strengths that the other brothers don't. Some of us have different weaknesses, and that's where the body comes in. That's why we share our experiences with one another. I have two big ones.
Yeah.
Kind of small, but go ahead and read it. Who's that? Go ahead. You just read it. Acceptable men in the fire furnace. Go ahead, brother.
Yep. Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Ben Sirach, chapter 2, in the Apocrypha, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai, prepare thy soul for temptation. The Good News translation says, prepare to be tested.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be put to
that
the test.
temptation is always just a test.
It's just a
It's
test.
just another test. You got big tests, you got small tests. Hey, that 2020, bring it in. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
That 2020 sickness that went out. That was a big test for all of us, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it might not have seemed that it was really big, bro. And it took an act of Yahweh Shemel Shai and faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai for us to get through that shit, bro.
That's right.
Because a lot of people fail that shit, especially the people in the world that are without. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Constantly endure.
Yep.
And make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And the reason why this precept stuck with me is because when I was going through something, them nights, this is what I would read over and over and over and over again until it was on repeat in my head. I couldn't shut it off. And then now, since I'm back to some kind of normalcy, when I'm at the job at night and I'm walking around, that's why I told you, brothers, it's like I never left. That's Yahweh Shemel Shai. It ain't nothing I did, you know. Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
And that's our fire. That's our fire we're going through.
Yeah.
Right? 2/3 gonna have to go through that physical fire and experience that physical fire. The scripture says the same must know it after death by pain. So they gotta know what do they know? They know when there's truth.
Yeah.
They know when there's truth. Oh, we all got. I ain't know. I was sharing. I didn't even know you.
Oh no, I had this one just in case the brother wanted, because that one's pretty big.
Yeah, that thing is huge. Yeah. We all can fit underneath. But anyway, it's like that mustard tree shade that we just saw in the image. But then no, what was I saying?
For gold is tried in the fire.
Yeah. So it's like, so that read that again, brother.
So Ecclesiastes 2 verse 5.
Yeah.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
So that, like that, Elder Yashawamba said this last night in their live stream. He said that, roughly paraphrasing what he said that basically we're going through this now. We're all experiencing our own personal hell, our own personal fire. I'm roughly paraphrasing what he said. We're all experiencing our own personal fire because we got to go through ours too. Yahweh Shai went through his already, and he experienced it for the whole nation.
Ooh,
right?
heavy.
So, but we still got to go through our parts now, and so we can get elevated to that high position with Yahweh Shai. Okay,
right.
So we going through that adversity is our personal hell, right? We ain't gonna talk about it always. We ain't gonna share it always, and sometimes we will. But we all going through our personal hell down here. It's just a part of our story. That's all it is, brother. It ain't nothing personal. Hey, you going through it. That's it. But again, this is our adversity, and we still gonna have to see all hell break loose and experience it and be amongst it. But the Lord's gonna protect us.
Yeah.
That's why. Did you already read?
Did
you already read the through much tribulation in Acts?
No, right.
Go ahead and read that real quick.
There's in the book of Acts 14 and 22, it says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Yeah, and that was Paul speaking. You reading the NLT?
It says,
read the title. It's a title.
Acts 14.
Then go to
Paul and Barnabas returned to Antioch of Syria.
So this is Paul confirming the souls of the other disciples that were under him and Barnabas. That what? Reading in NLT.
NLT says, verse 22, where they strengthened the believers, they encouraged them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter the kingdom of the Most High.
Yeah, so that's it. So we all got to go through hardships, and that's what these tribulations are. That's what that adversity is. It's a hardship. But we have to go through these things in order to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. It's a part of our refining process. 2/3 are going to be refined too, through that hot fire, that nuclear fire, that judgment, right? But we're being refined through the furnace of what? Adversity versus the furnace of physical flames. We're going to see them coming, but then before them flames hit, Yahweh Shai is going to bring us up into them cherry, into the fathership, along with him.
That's right. It's like, you have certain shows where, like, let's say, a quick example, I'm not putting any show out there that I know already like that, but, you have, like, the King's Guard, let's say, they obviously pick certain soldiers that made physical tests or whatever, but what makes them qualified to be right next to the king, like be among protecting the king, trials, shit, this soldier put his life out there for the queen or for the prince, and then those things that they did made them worthy to be put in that position.
They passed the test.
The same thing with, I always saw that in movies, but you start reading the scriptures and you see the David and the mighty men of David, man. They all did those type of things where it was like, damn, man, like this is a man of the Lord. Like he's for real for the king,
Yeah, well,
those are trials and tribulations that you gotta go through, man.
Yeah. With any sword, every sword has to be wetted. Every sword has to be tried to make sure that it's fit for battle.
Yes.
Right? And those crucibles, it's called the crucible they put in there. And they try it over and over again to make sure they're strong enough, hard enough, dense enough, sturdy enough to withstand a blow. And that's what we're going through. Me and this brother went to the military. Don't matter how we got out, we both went to basic training. We made it through that shit. Hey, this brother went to the basic training in the 90s. The early 90s?
92, 91.
Yeah, early 90s. I went in there in 99. So if it was hard for him, if it was hard for me, it was even harder for this brother to go through that shit.
And check this out. In '91, I was trying to tell this brother about it. There's something in basic training called an obstacle course.
Oh yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
And we had Jake's. This one Jake would turn out to be one of my good friends. He was from the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
He killed it. And you know, Jake was tough. You know Jake from the Bronx. Big mouth, cocky, a whole lot of pride. But Jake was in good physical shape. Took a lot of vitamins before he came in the Army. So the obstacle course was the proving ground for the drill sergeants to say, you're the leader. You're our leader now. Because he breezed through the obstacle course, went up the wall, jumped down. Nigga hit the ground. I thought he was dead. Jake hit the ground, bounced up, screaming like Tarzan, and kept on going. And the drill sergeant was like, yeah, his name was Peace. Last name was Peace. P-E-A-C-E. Drill sergeant was like, yeah, Peace, you the leader now. You know?
Yeah, so but the point of the matter is that we went through that.
Yeah.
We went through that shit for Esau. How much more for Yahweh?
That's right.
And that's what this is. This battle was for each time, each year, each day, each month, each year, we make it through another phase of the battle.
Yeah.
The final phase, and we've done this in previous lifetimes. This ain't the first time. So this is the final phase. And remember, you had 3 different. I don't know if y'all had it when we was there. When we was there, we had 3 phases: red phase, white phase, and blue phase. Those are the phase. And then after blue phase, you graduate basic training.
Probably so. I don't recall.
Yeah. It was always broken down in the phases, red, white, and blue, because of the flag and shit.
Yeah.
So it's broken down in the phases and shit. And that's just the weeks.
The best, like the hopeful elect. The best of the best.
So that's all it is. And so we going through our adversity. We're in boot camp. Right? That's all. We in boot camp, brothers. And boot camp is hard. But we also in war too. We're being trained to go to war. We're in war. We're in war now. We're in the final phase of the war. Actually, the war is about to turn into a hot war. And that's bad. Once a war becomes a hot war, it's hard to stop that. It has to go through its phase and then eventually be like it's called hot for a reason. That fire has to be put out. Somebody has to conquer. Well, the conquering line of Judah is going to conquer.
Yeah, I was shy.
You know what I'm saying? So we're on his side. He's on our side.
That's right.
We're gonna go through. This is all these different phases of our walk, brothers, has been a test of our faith and our patience, brother. And we keep harping on this year after year, because it's going to culminate into something big, and that's what we're coming into now. I don't see 2025 getting cooler. You know, sometimes it go hot, get cool, get hot, get cool, but things are happening, brother. And it's a lot of people that's getting ushered back into the spirit world right now, even as we speak. Right? So we don't want to be in that situation. Right? Even if we do got to go back to the spirit world, let us go because our works, let us go with our works that will follow us to that transition of the kingdom.
Yep.
Okay? You had something, Karen?
No, I had just finished Acts 14.
Read Acts 14 again.
Acts 14 and 22, it says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Yeah, we got to go through this, brother. It can't not go. Let's go to 2nd Ezra 7. Start at 7. Really, you can start at the top, but the point really started to kick up in 7 when it talks about going through the straight, that narrow gate, that narrow path. But go ahead, whoever got it first.
I got it. 2nd Ezra 7 verse 1, and when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the nights afore. And he said unto me, up, Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river.
And that's what this walk is. This walk is a narrow path. Hold that. They can get that precept where it says, broad is the way, but narrow is the gate. That's what this truth is, a narrow path, right? That's why the apostles are always reminding us Hey, brothers, you gotta be active. You gotta be active. You gotta be faithful. You gotta do the work, do the work, do the work, do the work. You gotta pray. You gotta pray. You gotta pray. Because there's a lot of people that's walking. There's a lot of brothers right now that's walking with this that ain't walking it right. You know, you just show up on Saturday. You're an Israelite on Saturday, but then the rest of the week you just a nigga in the world, right? You ain't doing nothing to make your call on election sure besides showing up. Anybody can show up for a job. It don't mean that they showing up for work. That's why even this brother had mentioned that guy, his name Peace. That guy worked hard. I don't know if I don't know how many years he did in the military. I don't know if he did a career. I don't know if he did his first 3 and that was it, or his first 4 that was it. But the point of the matter is that dude was giving it what he had to give, and a lot of soldiers were with him. They ain't stay with him. Hey, when I was in the military, giving my own personal experience, I met a lot of dudes in the military that just wasn't fit for the military. Right? I did 11 and a half. I did 11 years, 2 months, and 9 days. I think this is what they said it was. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, 11 years, 9 months, something like that. It was something crazy. So it was. I know it was 11 years. It was over a decade.
Long time.
Active duty. Now, I might not have ended how I wanted to end it, you know, as far as my ranking and all that other stuff, but that was a long time, bro. You think in that 11 years, 2 months, 9 days, or whatever I spent active duty, I met a lot of people that didn't stay.
Yeah.
I met dudes that did their term and they got out. I met dudes that got kicked out. They were in the middle of their term and got kicked out, got put out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot. I met people that stayed in for 20 years. I didn't do 20 years of service.
Me neither.
You know what I'm saying? But the point of the matter is that you have to stick it out. You have to see it through. And as you see it through, there's a lot of people who ain't gonna make it, bro.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have the self-discipline, the self-motivation, the self-efficacy, the self-initiative to make it. You know what I'm saying? And we're hoping that we those men that we got what it takes through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shalom Shah to endure to the end. We want to make it, bro. But it's not easy. It ain't meant to be easy.
Every day.
Go ahead, Kahan.
Right. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, and verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
This is the straight gate. This truth is a straight gate. That wide, that broad way that leads to destruction is the way of the world. Christianity, Islam, those two major broad streets that people walk down. And they think that they're walking down a narrow path, and they're not. They might be going through some shit, but they ain't really going through nothing because they ain't in the truth. They ain't in the truth. Okay? This is the narrow gate. I'm sorry, read it again, Kahan.
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. But because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
And few, that's why I said many are called, but few are chosen. And we're hoping that we're chosen. I don't want to just be called. I want to be chosen, bro.
I want to get up out of here.
Yeah, man.
First trip.
In the NOT it says, St. Matthew 7 and 14, but the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it.
You see? Read that again in the NLT. I was going to ask you to read it, you spread really good. Go ahead. Read both of those verses in the NLT, brother.
St. Matthew 7 and verse 13 in the NOT, you can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate.
That's the only way you can enter. It ain't a broad gate. A broad gate is for anybody can walk through a broad gate. Very few people can walk through a narrow gate.
That's right.
Read it again. I'm sorry, brother.
You can only enter God's kingdom through the narrow gate.
Yep.
The highway to hell is broad.
The highway to hell. They got people celebrating that shit. But see, what does hell mean? Does it mean a place where you burn forever? That mythical place that they teach you in Christianity and Islam? No, nigga. Hell is a condition.
We in hell.
Absolutely, brother. But guess what? The hell is going to be turned up. Because there's people that's glad to be in hell. And they're going to be destroyed in hell.
That's right.
Hell is the grave. Hell is the earth. Hell is the condition. Earth ain't supposed to be hell, but it is right now for us. And soon it's going to be hell for the elite. I was about to say the Gentile, but the Spirit wanted me to say the elite first. The elite of the Gentiles, nations, starting with the nation of Edom. It's going to be hell for them because right now there's heaven for them. But this is the broad way. It's a way to destruction. Go ahead, Khan.
The highway to hell is broad, and its gate is wide for the many who choose that way. But the gateway to life.
I'm sorry, read that portion again.
It says the highway to hell is broad, and it is Salakia, and its gates is wide for the many who choose that way.
His gates is wide for the many who choose that way. Go ahead.
But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it.
Yeah, it is. Only a few ever find it. And that few that ever find it are the ones that is meant to find it. Romans 11:7. What then have the elect have? Romans 11:7. What then have the elected? Read that.
Yeah.
Hey, Rapta, y'all watching the show. Get it. Romans 11:7.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, and verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for.
Yeah, the vast majority of Israel is trying to seek for the truth. Go ahead.
With that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Yeah, so the elect is the few. That's what the brother is reading right here. That elect is the few. That's what we're hoping and praying that we are a part of. Right? And we got a good chance. But we're still hoping though. Because we don't know. Hey, Elder Yakanan said that this morning while he was out on the highways and highways and hedges. He was like, man, he said we hope for it. Because he was using the term we. And he's like, man, but we hoping that we're part of the elect. That's what we're hoping for. We're fighting for it. I remember when I first woke up to the truth and I seen Elder Yakanan. He used to be in the house a lot. He used to have the sign, this 12-type chart right behind him all the time. And he was sitting at the desk reading. He was doing the sit downs. I was like, dang, man, I remember those videos. And now the brothers out there on the highways and hedges in the cold. It was cold as shit out there today. Super cold up there, but he was out there. He was freezing. He didn't even want to. It was so bad. The brother didn't even want to take his gloves off, to read the comment board. But he said, "I'm gonna do it." And he did it real quick. So I'm gonna do this real quick. And he, that spirit was on him. He started warming up and stuff. But it was cold as shit. But he's out there.
That's the spirit.
You know what I'm saying? So and we all got that encouragement. We all out there. You know what I'm saying? Doing the work. Go ahead, Con.
This is in the book of St. Luke, chapter 13 and 24. It says, strive to enter in at the straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter it and shall not be able. When once the master of the house is risen up and has shut to the door, and ye begin to stand without and to knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. And he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not whence ye are. Then shall ye begin to say, we have eaten and drunk in thy presence, and thou hast taught us in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence you are. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity.
You got a lot of workers of iniquity amongst us. They're gonna be like, they're gonna try to throw it in the Lord's face. Well, we was out there doing what you said to do. Nah, man, you was working iniquity while you was frauding like you was doing.
That's right. That's why it says strive to enter in at the straight gate, man. Because even Jake, that's amongst Israel that know that they're the Israelites. You're not doing the work sincerely, man. You doing it for a filthy lucre, for popularity, for power, and this is not what that's about, man. We trying to sincerely seek salvation from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man.
Yeah, but we also realize the sober fact that not everybody's sincere.
That's right.
Not everybody that's amongst us is sincere. You got agents amongst us. You got niggas that sincerely with Esau, acting like they're doing the work, but they create dossiers on brothers, sending information back to our enemies, hoping that they can destroy us. But in reality, they only want to destroy themselves. And that's a sobering fact. Not everybody that's rolling with is sincere. Right? There's some couple dudes I'm thinking about right now. I thought these niggas was real in this motherfucker, bruh. This one guy, he was the head of the Mississippi camp, man. I really thought this nigga was real, bruh. The whole time this nigga was a demon. And then he out there with another puppet demon. I don't want to end up like that nigga. He's an example of what not to be.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, bro. And like elder, it's spiritual. So all this, that's how I know Yahweh Shemir Shah is real. And nobody can tell me otherwise, bro, because Elder Kazak was speaking about this on his on the live show while I was on the way to Kent. And you know, speaking about brothers doing the work, making sure you're doing the work, because there's a lot of dudes that we just assumed that was the man. And then next thing you know, them niggas is out. They not with us no more. Heads of Kents. Dudes that we thought was super diligent, but in reality they weren't.
The Lord see everything.
Right. Even they were either they were part-time, they were basically full-time niggas, part-time Israelites. versus being full-time Israelites, part-time people in the world. Meaning that whatever you got going on in the world, that's just to sustain you in your walk. Your main job, your real job is this truth. Your real family is these brothers that are around us, that are truly doing the work in truth and sincerity. Those are our real family. I know we got wives, we got children, and Lord willing, they'll be saved because of us doing the work through the Spirit of Fire Yahweh Shemir Shah. If not, okay. But the point of the matter is, this is it, right here. This is your first love, not your woman. Sophia is your first love, which is just wisdom. Okay, and you have to treat her that way, right? Your woman is just there to get you, you know, what they say. You take that little shot to get the edge off. That's all your woman is there for. She's there to get. That's right, brother. Give you a little comfort, get the edge off, and Lord willing to support you in your physical walk. Sometimes she supports you in your spiritual walk. It all depends. But the point of the matter is that your real job is this truth. It's like Superman. People thought that Superman's real job was working at the fucking newspaper, at the Daily Planet. No, the Daily Planet just helped Superman survive in this world where humans gotta live. They gotta pay bills. They gotta they gotta have a roof over their head. He wants some pussy on his side, so he got in Lois Lane. You know what I'm saying? But his real job, his father Jarrell, which that's a Hebrew name, Yarel, right? It was Jarrell. Yeah, Jarrell was his father's name.
Yeah.
And his name was Kal-El, which is all powerful. His dad didn't send him to Earth to work at the fucking Daily Planet. His dad sent him to work to save his life, first and foremost, because the planet was about to be destroyed. But he sent him to a place where he knew that he could do good. And he sent him to the Earth to do good, to protect that place. Because there was nobody on Earth like him. Absolutely nobody on Earth like him. And what did he end up having to do? Fight all kinds of aliens and shit, keep them off the fucking planet, try to stop them from taking over the Earth. Then you had human villains that were doing evil, trying to manipulate the Earth, like Lex Luthor.
Esau.
That's nigga Esau. Is Lex. That's Lex Luthor all day, trying to manipulate the world and enslave the world because he wanted power. That's what he wanted so much. He wanted power all the time. But his Superman's real job was to save the planet and protect it.
Yeah.
And that's what Yahweh Shai is. He's our real Superman. And we're Supermen too. We're Clark Kents too. You can't let your physical, you can't let your secret his secret identity was Superman, but his alter ego,
Clark Kent?
Clark Kent, which that's a spiritual name too, but that's another lesson for another time.
Yeah.
But you can't let your Clark Kent mode outdo your Kal-El mode, bro. Your Superman mode.
Stay focused.
Because your Superman mode is why you were put here.
Yeah.
We were put here to do the work. We were born in this earth to do the work. Now everything else we have around us, that we use around us, what was that for? That's used to maintain our secret identity.
It's temporary.
It's temporary. It's maintain our secret identity. Yeah. Our secret identity is the Lord willing and the hopeful elect of Yahweh Shemir Shah.
That's right.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let the worldly view, don't let your worldly identity overtake your spiritual identity.
That's right.
And a lot of dudes do that.
Yeah.
Okay? You looking for something? You got something? Are y'all?
No.
We read that. What you was reading prior to that? I'm gonna give it to this brother. He can... No, go ahead and look at
No. I think I had read it off of the cross references. That's why.
Oh, I got something to say.
Bring it up, brother.
A lot of times you brothers don't get it because it ain't for you. And those of you who are in this, like we always say, and then you fall out, you were never really in. That's just how this goes.
It's just your walk. Like
It's just your walk.
Judas, he had his role to play.
Right.
Right? It wasn't his fault. He didn't do that. He didn't do that on purpose. He was created to do that. And so you have certain men that are with us that are not truly with us, but they're here for a certain time for an example.
Your
And
temps.
that's right. That's their job.
Yeah.
But we're focusing on the true.
Lock in.
We're focusing on our true job and journey. I got kids. I got women, but it ain't my pressing issue. Right?
Not your primary.
No. My primary job is this right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm locked in 24/7. And sometimes I sit back and I'm like, damn, brother, it's been over 12 years, brother. Yeah, about 12 years. I'm actively fighting. I've been in the truth longer than I was in the army. You know what I'm saying? But then guess what? We were doing this work before. This ain't the first time we all got together and did this work. We did this in our previous lives.
Obviously.
You know what I'm saying? And the Lord willing, we endure to the end. And
Lord
guess
willing,
what?
brother,
Even the
sir.
guys that was with us and they're not with us no more, they serve as an example what not to be. Those are the same guys in the ancient world doing the same thing. You always had people that infiltrated the body. When Yahweh Shai was doing the work, you had people falsely acting like they was with us, but they were recording information and giving it back to the wicked scribes and Pharisees and to the Roman authorities. That's what they was doing. They did it back then. They're gonna do it now.
Spies,
Right.
man.
So that we all just playing a role. I heard it twice past this week. Hey, one guy on TV had said it. He said he said the world's on the stage and we're all actors.
There it is.
Which that came from William Shakespeare. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't help what you're doing.
Right.
All you gotta do, if you sincere, you know you sincere, be sincere. If you sincerely wrong, you sincerely wrong. If you're sincerely right, you're sincerely right. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, I hope and know why the Lord brought me here. I didn't wake up one day and said, you know what, I'm gonna work for Esau. I'm gonna do fuck that nigga. I know that I was in the army, I got out of the army, and the Lord put all of this spirit on me, and then I'm here where I'm at, 12 years later, working with these brothers. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Shai, and hoping that I endure to the end. Because none of that shit, it ain't what I did in the past, it's what I'm doing lately. And that's why you constantly hear us drumming it in your head, do the work for the elect, for those sincere brothers.
You gotta check yourself.
Go ahead, Kahan.
Oh, I was holding that in Luke 13 and 24.
Read it.
Ariel.
Luke 13:24.
Luke 13.
Hold on. You done that Matthew portion we was reading?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, go ahead and read Luke 13 and what? 24?
24.
24, I'm sorry.
Luke 13, verse 24. Strive to enter in at the straight gate.
Mm-hmm.
For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able.
Yeah, a lot of people want to seek to get in, but they're not going to be able to, bro. So we got to strive. What is it in the NLT?
NLT, it says,
Work hard.
work hard.
Work hard.
Work hard.
That's why the apostles and the bishops, elders, and brothers on down keep telling us this, brother.
Better work hard.
You got to work hard, bro. People love a hard worker. The Most High loves a hard worker. Extremely hard. That's the one that gets the reward.
Hey, I was in the bed the other day, tired, but the Spirit came over me to do a lesson. I tried to go back to sleep, and then I said to myself, get your ass up and do this lesson. So I got up and did the lesson, and then I laid back down and went to sleep. So you got to work hard to enter the narrow door to the Most High's kingdom.
Because that's where we at. Let's get back to 2nd Ezra chapter 7. Who was reading that?
Oh, I had a quick one.
Bring it up, brother.
In the book of Romans 12 and 21, it says, Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good.
Yep.
You know, going back into, falling off because of what? Because of the world, or letting the world get in between your main job, which is what? This truth.
It's true. We're Superman, brothers.
We
Don't
tried.
let Clark Kent. Clark Kent couldn't beat Superman. Clark Kent was weak. Clark Kent was just a facade. Superman was his real identity.
Boy, when he came out in that cape,
That was his real identity.
it was on.
That was it.
He bust out that shit.
Yeah, he could act. When he was Clark Kent, he act like he was weak. You know what I'm saying? He let dudes fuck with him. I remember my favorite Superman scene from back in the day when that wicked ass nigga Christopher Reeves played him, that Edomite,
Mm-hmm.
that guy. But it was, I don't know, it was, I think it might have been 2. Anyway, he was in they had did a remake of it with Henry Cavill. He was at the restaurant, and this guy was bullying him.
Oh, that was my favorite scene.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he poured that shit on him,
Yeah.
and then he was like, he stayed humble.
Chill.
He ain't flexing, he was Superman, bruh. And this was before the dude punched him in the face. He poured the shit all on him and shit, and then eventually he tried to walk away, and dude came back and hit him and broke his fucking hand, and then people looked at him like in shock, and he was in shock. And Superman didn't beat his ass into the ground. He just chilled out, fell back, went outside, and fucked his truck up.
Hung it from a tree.
Yeah, hung that motherfucker from electric poles. That wasn't even tree. He threw a bunch of electric poles in that nigga's truck. You know what I'm saying? And then flew the fuck off. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
And the motherfucker came outside and looked at his truck and was all perplexed.
Yeah, he didn't know what the fuck
He didn't know
happened.
what the
How
fuck
the fuck that happened? He couldn't blame that on niggas. So, you know, it made me think about that one episode, that one movie, Goodfellas, where the guy, he sold his truck to the, what's that nigga name? Who the nigga, he's always in the mafia movies. Damn, I can't
Ray
remember.
Liotta,
No, the other nigga. Who the nigga?
Pacino?
No, the other nigga.
Pesci,
De Niro?
Joe
No,
Pesci.
De Niro.
De
Robert
Niro.
De Niro. Robert
Robert
De
De
Niro.
Niro.
And then he walked back in the store. So you know what? 2 fucking niggas stole my truck. You know, he couldn't blame that on niggas. Superman fucked that truck up. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, you can't let your secret identity, because that's all this shit is, bro.
it's
Whoever
like
you
cool.
are in the world, bro, that's your secret identity.
Yeah, you gotta.
We Superman, right? We're not Superman mode. Kahan Allah. All Yahweh. Kabar Yahweh. We out here doing the work. This is who we truly are, bro. Because this is what we were set here to do.
Yeah,
Everything else is just a filler. You know, your wife, your kids, your so-called family in the world. I know you love them. You're supposed to.
It's all make believe.
But it's just something to fill your story out.
It's a
But
pastime.
your true goal, your true manifestation, who the Lord created us to be, is men of the Lord, bro.
Men of the Lord.
Right.
And this is why you got to put more effort into this. It's a balance. It's definitely a balance, brother. I'm not saying do too much and burn yourself out. You got to find that balance in your walk. But that's because we're on a narrow path. If we was on a broad path, we wouldn't have to find balance. We could do whatever we wanted to, like everybody else in the world.
Willy-nilly.
They just willy-nilly and just doing what they want to do, but they have no balance. And that's why they go either way. Either they burn or they drown.
Yeah.
And we're trying to walk this narrow path. Go ahead, Kyle.
It's back in the book of 2nd Esdras 7, and verse, I'll start at the top again. It says, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me an angel which had been sent unto me nights afore. And he said unto me, Up, Esdras, and hear the words that I came to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad?"
And the broad for us is the kingdom of heaven. But in order for us to get to the kingdom of heaven, we got to walk through this narrow path, right? This skinny path. And it's not a path where a bunch of people can walk. That's why we always tell Brother Sue, man, hey man, we can't hold your hand into this thing.
Can't
Even
do it.
though you see us as a body doing the work, we're still this is a solo effort.
Yeah.
It's a solo effort, meaning that each one of us is walking our own daily walk on our own. And every so often, which usually is Saturday or whenever the Lord have us do the camp lessons together throughout the week, that's when we come together like this. But then it goes like a figure 8 like this. You see, it goes from being this, we have our moments of wide when we together, but then we got to part ways and go right back into our single walk.
The Matrix.
Yeah. Not only are we in the matrix, brother, but it's still our single walk.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get up and do your own lessons. You got to get up and do your own prayers. You got to get up and fast. You got to be mindful of the holy days. You got to check in. You got to go to work. You got to deal with the hell. You got to deal with your adversity.
Pay your bills.
Yeah, that's all hell.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? That's part of the curses. But the point of the matter is that it's like, sometimes it feels like when brothers watching the videos, or you sisters watching the videos, you select aquas watching the videos, it's like you see us like you see us daily. You kind of feel like a person thinking, oh, but you don't see all of this. You don't see the narrow portion. You just see the wider portion on the TV screen or the computer screen or the cell phone screen. But then there's this portion that most people do not see. But you know who does see that? Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, and the angels. And that's what they're focusing on. And that's why the apostles and elders always tell us, and you can't be an Israelite on the weekend and a nigga on a weekday. It's more days of the week than it is the weekend. You only come out here 1 week out of the year. That's 4 times a year you get to see brothers together. 4 times. I'm sorry, 4 times a year. 4 times a month. The water brother. Yeah. 4 times a month. You know what I'm saying? Where is this brother? I can't hold on to what this dude did 4 times a month and over what he's doing the whole year. Only he knows this. I don't know what he's doing.
And the Lord knows.
That's right, brother.
And
that's what we're focusing on. And that's what counts. I mean, this counts too, absolutely. But this right here, that narrow path you walking, that we have to be walking by ourselves, that's definitely counts.
Make it count.
That trumps it. Okay?
Yeah, I don't know if, was it Yahweh Shai or it was one of the apostles that said, you know, pretty much to do the work even in his absence.
Oh, that's Paul said that.
Oh, Paul, yeah.
Paul said that. He was talking to the church of Corinth.
That's right, man, because it's not when,
find that
when you're around brothers, but it's when you're on your own, man. When nobody's looking at you, that's when you're supposed to be doing or rehearsing the righteous acts, man, because that's where you prove your faith to the Lord. When you're doing it in front of men, like Yahweh Shai said, you know, the scribes and Pharisees, they sit in the front of the synagogues and pray in public to be seen of men. Maybe. You know, you showing your so-called faith to men, but in reality, we got to show our faith to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And when it counts is when you're alone, man. When you are put in a position where you're alone and you don't have a brother on top of you, like, oh, let me see if this brother's gonna do the righteous thing.
That's right.
That's when you show the Lord, like, look, Lord, like my heart, my mind is truly in following after you, man. So you gotta do the right choice, do the right thing when you're on your own, man.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, Philippians 2:12, brother.
Philippians 2:12, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
There it is. That's capstone right there. This is exactly that's the perfect scripture to illustrate what we were just saying for the last 20 minutes. Right? Because we got to work out our own soul salvation with fear and trembling, bro.
Self-discipline.
That's right. Not only that, that's an additive of that. But the point of the matter is, it told you that your own soul salvation with fear and trembling. None of us can help you. We can't help each other. We can strengthen each other through the charity, through the help, through the word, through the prayer, fasting. We can strengthen each other, but we still got to walk this thing by ourselves, man.
That's right.
We didn't come into this world as a together. We ain't triplets, right? I was born with my twin brother. He's born his brother, sister, his sisters, and whatnot. But I came here I had to come out by myself. You know what I'm saying? Even though I had a twin, he's responsible for his own walk, as I am for my own walk. Read that again, but I love that. That was it.
Philippians 2:12, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
And read it in the NLT.
NLT, it says, dear friends, you always followed my instructions when I was with you, and now that I am away, it is even more important.
And that sounds like, I know that's Paul talking, but that's still Yahweh Shai talking too.
Yeah.
That's Yahweh Shai talking through Paul. Read that again, brother.
NLT, Philippians 2:12, dear friends, you always follow my instructions when I was with you, and now that I am away, it is even more important. Work hard to show the results of your salvation, obeying the Most High obeying the Most High with deep reverence and fear.
And that's what it is. That's called working out your own soul salvation with fear and trembling, man. Because we can't push you all across that finish line. We all running together, but you're running on your own.
Yeah.
I'm not operating this brother's body. He ain't operating mine. He's running on his own. We running a marathon together. And the option of a marathon, the object of a marathon is just to finish.
That's right.
That's all it ain't to beat. I'm not trying to beat this brother. I ain't trying to beat this brother.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't trying to beat me. We're trying to finish this race together, but we're trying to finish the race on our own, but as a unit.
Yeah, man up.
That's it. We're trying to as a unit, and so and this is why it's so important to remember your first love, which is this truth, brother.
Yeah.
It's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Shai. Sophia, and she's a beautiful woman too.
Yeah.
So remember her. Don't ignore Sophia for some shit you got going in the world, and that's why guys fall out. Because even Paul was going through that. He said that I wanted to talk about this earlier, but I didn't. Maybe I can remember. I'm trying to paraphrase it. He said that this one dude, he loved the world more than he did the truth, and he went back into the world. I don't know if it was Hymenaeus. I don't know. It was somebody he was telling Timothy about. He was saying that this guy, he loved the world. He was more persuaded about the world. Something like he was wanting the world. Anyway, long story short, the dude fell out because he went back into the world. He liked the world more than, I want to say it was the dude, and his name might have been with a D. He said he loved the, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. He said, let me see if I can find it. Hey, talk, Mario.
Yeah, that's and we hear stories like this, and sometimes it seems like we focus on the brothers that have fallen out, but there's more brothers that actually stay in and fight, but you don't hear about those brothers because they're doing the right thing. They're doing what's pleasing to Yahweh Shem Shai, and that's what we try to do. Stay on that narrow road to life. Narrow road to life, but the road that leads to destruction is broad and wide. It's easy to jump on that road. 2/3 of Israel are on that broad road to destruction. We don't want to get on that road.
Oh yeah, why do you have about 2 Timothy 4:10.
Oh.
2 Timothy
You can start at 9 and see what it says, but I know
chapter 4 and verse 4 and verse 9. It says, "Do thy diligence to come surely unto me."
Yeah, this is Paul writing to Timothy.
Oh yeah.
Do thy diligence to come surely unto me, for Demas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica. Crescens to Galatia, Titus unto Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. Take Mark and bring him with thee, for he is profitable to me for the ministry.
Yeah, and it was at one point, I believe it was Mark. He got rebuked by Paul because he was bullshitting. Right, he was bullshitting. So, but eventually, he got his shit together. But read that in the NLT, brother, about Demas.
In the NLT, it says 2 Timothy 4:10, Demas has deserted me because he loves the things of this life and has gone to Thessalonica. Crescens has gone to Galatia, and Titus has gone to Dalmatia.
Yeah, so Demas, just kind of focus on him. He was a fallout. He was with Paul for a little bit, but then he deserted him because he loved the world.
That's right.
He didn't love the truth more than the world. He loved that false identity that he saw. He liked that shit.
Well, I seen a meme about, all these women doing plastic surgery and shit. So the meme was pretty much like, oh, you have this ugly bitch. She gets a bunch of surgeries. Now she looks bad as hell. And a man marries the bitch because she's so pretty. But when they have kids, the kids come out like some ugly ass fucking children. So this truth is like having a natural woman, natural beauty, everything proportioned nice, and then and the world being a bitch that just got a bunch of surgeries.
Yeah.
And then when you really get to know her and you know, you go into her, you see that it's fake. Everything is fake. Her tits are fucking hard. That ass, everything she's saying. So it's the same thing with this word, man. We talking about Sophia. Sophia is that beautiful woman, man.
natural
Pure
beauty.
natural beauty, man. And you gonna leave that to go to a bitch full of surgery, full of plastic, that in a couple years is gonna start to decay and look like a fucking monster, man.
Yep.
That's what the world is in the spirit, man. It's
Yeah.
just a cesspool of wickedness.
I saw the image of this chick. I don't know if you ever seen her. She was Asian, but she got so much plastic surgery. Her fucking hair look like Quagmire, and her body is all small. But when she was young, she did all of that to try to keep her youthful look. When she was young, she looked good. When the Most High made her young, how He made her, He created her with that natural beauty. It was nothing could top that. But that was fading. Beauty is fate. Beauty is fleeting, right? So she tried to go to the man, to Esau, and he tried to imitate what the Lord already created, and that she looked like a fucking monster, bro. She looked crazy as shit. And in her mind, she looked just as good now as she did when she was younger. But in reality, she don't. She's suffering from extreme delusion.
That's right.
Okay, so don't be a demon, man. Don't be that guy, because this world is gonna be destroyed anyway. So what you gonna go back into the world for? What are you gonna get from that? You ain't gonna get shit. Right? It ain't nothing in the world that compares to what Yahweh Shem Shai is establishing, has established, and will establish.
That's right.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying, bro? So don't desert the Lord for the world, because it ain't gonna help you. Because you ain't saving nothing, and it ain't really no fun in there. Right? Wait on the Lord. Be patient. Because this is you in reality, when you woke up, this is who we truly are. But it ain't for everybody, like the brother said earlier, but it's definitely for the elect. And we're hoping and praying that we're part of the elect. Read that portion again about demons again, man.
This 2 Timothy 4 and verse 9 in the NLT.
Oh, you get in the NLT, bro.
2 Timothy 4 and verse 10. Demas has deserted me because he loves the things of this life and has gone to Thessalonica.
Yeah, so he left. He instead of him, ministering to Paul, doing the work, he loved this world. He just left him. He left Paul. He deserted him and went back into Thessalonica because he liked that world. Well, I ain't got to tell you where demons at today. That nigga's out. He's gone. He's gonna be destroyed. You got it, brother.
Yeah.
You read the commentary or something?
No, I was reading trying to see what it meant by this present world.
What it said? Forever.
Yeah.
Let me see what it says in the commentary real quick. What was that? 2 Timothy. What is it?
4 and 9.
4 and 9.
Well, yeah, that word there is eon, which is this period of time, man, this age.
And we know that this age is about to be destroyed.
That's right. It's well, like you said about the beauty. Beauty is
Is it 2 Timothy?
is
Fleeting.
fleeting.
Yeah.
This age is fleeting, man, because it's an age of
Timothy 4:9.
wickedness, man.
Is that what we was
You know,
reading?
but
No,
the
I
age
wasn't gonna
that
get it.
Yahweh Shem
Where's-
Shai is gonna bring.
I'm sorry, brother. Where you was reading that?
2 Timothy 4 and 10.
4 and 10,
14.
yeah. 4 and 10. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to go to the commentary. That's it.
But yeah, the age that the Lord is gonna bring is gonna be a age that's gonna be eternal, man. Why? Because it's gonna be in righteousness. You know that this age, the age of the heathens, is fleeting, man. Why? Because it's in wickedness. So everything you see, it never lasts long, man. These empires were all taken down. Why? Because of the wickedness, man. They didn't bring forth fruits worthy of life. You know, and that's why the Lord destroyed them. So if you want to leave this truth and go into the world, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna start fleeting. That's what
fleeting.
fleeting
You can look up the definition for fleeting.
right along with it, man.
I got a quick precept. Proverbs 26, verse 11. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly.
That's right, man. And those are those men that were in this truth that return to the things of the world, man, which is likened unto vomit, man. Nothing that you can, no knowledge, no knowledge that you can acquire in the world can can bring you life. You know, no matter if you become a prepper or if you become the biggest entrepreneur in this world, if you go into politics, if you go into any fucking religion, none of those things are gonna deliver you from the destruction that the Lord's gonna bring, man. So if you leaving the way of life for any of these ways that lead unto destruction, man, you're a fucking idiot, man. You're like a dog.
Yeah. Demons. It said it right here. I'm just reading it again in the NLT. It says, demons have deserted me because he loves the things of this life. And that's why people desert Yahweh Shem Shah. Because they love the things in this world, whether that be your woman, your kids, your family, whatever, your job, right? Some guys, they was making good money, and they thought that was more worthy than to do this work, and now they no longer with us no more.
That's right.
But they don't understand that job, he gonna lose that job. That money, you gonna lose that money. What you gonna do when the chip comes, right? How's that gonna help you? How's that money that you loved in the world? What you gonna do when the chip comes? How your wife gonna love you more than your Yahweh Shem Shah? How is she gonna protect you? You see, your image in the world, that's just gonna be destroyed. All that's fleeting, and that's comparable to the analogy the brother was giving, the priest was giving about the plastic surgery and shit over the natural beauty. Okay, and like the brother had brought out about the dog and his vomit.
Yep, Proverbs 26,
Read it
11.
again.
Proverbs 26, verse 11. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly.
And that's what that is. Your life in the world is folly. And when we watched Superman play Clark Kent, he was a folly dude. He was full of fucking folly.
Yeah.
But when he turned into Superman, he was serious as shit. And couldn't nobody fuck him. He was stoic.
He was austere.
He was extremely austere. You know, except when he got weak for fucking that ugly ass Lois Lane. But when he was flying in the air and he saw a problem, he handled that shit. He was like this. He didn't have any fear toward it's basically he understood that whatever he was fighting was weaker than him.
That's right.
You know, and then, you know, even when he fought Lex Luthor, man. Lex Luthor, when you watch Gene Hackman play Lex Luthor in the original Superman that came out in the 80s, he was a fucking clown, man. And it was like, look, nigga, he found Superman's weakness, which was his kryptonite, that green crystal, which was kryptonite. You know, and he all he did was manipulate it against fucking Superman. But when, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Esau does to us. Our kryptonite in this world is this flesh and this sin, this sinful flesh. Put that together. Mm-hmm. That's all our kryptonite is a sinful flesh. But this flesh is decaying and dying, and soon it's going to be replaced by a righteous body.
Yeah.
If we endure to the end, we'll be the first ones to experience that. But demons he didn't see that, and he just left them because he wanted to go back into the fucking world, bro. Fuck you leave me for, bro? For that shit, nigga, you died anyway, and now you back here in the world doing the same shit. I'm not Paul. I'm just saying. I'm just using that as an example. I can see what Paul was going through. He's fucking frustrated, bro. He's like, damn, man. And now he said, let's keep on reading that in NLT, brother. 2 Timothy 4:10.
It says, Demas has deserted me because he loves the things of this life and has gone to Thessalonica. Crescens has gone to Galatia, and Titus gone to Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. Bring Mark with you when you come, for he will be helpful to me in my ministry.
Keep reading.
I sent Tychius to Ephesus.
So here Paul was spreading brothers out, because remember he was locked up. Timothy was writing these letters to Timothy because he was booked and he was about to die. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, look, man, the only ones I got is these people. Hey, bring me Mark, man. That nigga Demas, he left because he wanted to be in the world. And I had to send the rest of the other brothers this place, that place. Like the brother was doing.
Yep.
Keep reading, bro.
When you come, be sure to bring the coat I left with Carpus at Troas. Also bring my books and especially my papers. Alexander the coppersmith did me much harm, but the Lord will judge him for what he has done.
Yeah, you see? So he was like, look, man, he was talking about these two dudes, man. They did him dirty. Demas left I had to send everybody else this way, that way, and then Alexander the coppersmith, he did me wrong, but the Lord gonna handle that nigga. Don't worry about him. Go ahead, brother.
Right. Be careful of him, for he fought against everything we said.
Yeah, because he wanted to be, Alexander the coppersmith wanted to be the man. And he told Timothy, hey man, be careful what that nigga talking about. Be careful what that nigga talking about, because he fought against everything that we said. He fought against the truth. This nigga's a demon.
Right.
Right? And that's those two niggas, Bert and Ernie you was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Them niggas, they remind me of them niggas, man.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead, Bert and Ernie, same
Yeah,
thing.
same thing.
Them niggas. Teddy Graham.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Again, man, your first love is his truth.
Always.
Right? Always remember that. Keep your faith. Stay humble. We said a lot of things, so I'm gonna do a quick check on learning.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things we walked through in this lesson today was faith and the importance of having faith, especially faith as a mustard seed. We showed you examples of a mustard tree as well as a mustard seed, and how beautiful that mustard seed, that small amount of faith, that mustard seed grew into that strong tree that could house a whole family, several families. You know what I'm saying? With a tent. You know, we talked about that. We talked about doing the work, bro. You know what I'm saying? Being studying to show yourself approved. I didn't bring that precept out, but we alluded to it in the fact that, hey, brothers, read these scriptures, man. Read these precepts, because they hold a lot of wisdom and understanding and knowledge, especially for us in the times that we're living in, especially when it regards our faith.
I gotta do more reading.
Yeah, all of us should do that, man.
Yeah.
And don't just say it like the scripture says. Don't be hearers only. Don't be hearers only, but doers also. Right? So that's all that is. Don't just be a hearer. Be a doer. Go over the videos you do. You know what I'm saying, from time to time. I know it's kind of tedious to do it to every video, but go over some of the videos you do and glean some of those precepts and read them. And not only just read them, but read them with understanding, and then apply it to your own life. So we talked about faith. We talked about the mustard seed, the faith, the mustard seed. We talked about doing the work, right? We talked about studying and showing yourself approved, rightfully dividing the word so that you won't be, rightfully dividing words so that you won't be, get that real quick. Study, show out, study, approved. All you got to do is look at the word study in the blue letter, study.
In the book of 2 Timothy 2 and verse 15, it says, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Yeah, so you don't want to be ashamed when somebody asks you a real question and you can't answer it because you ain't really been studying like that, and you're only fooling yourself. Okay, so study to show yourself approved. Again, check on learning. We talked about faith. We talked about the mustard seed and as well as the mustard tree, and we illustrated that by showing you the pictures. Then we talked about doing the work, right? Right? Don't half-ass it, because you're only tricking yourself. You ain't tricking your Yahweh Shai. All right? And you ain't gonna coast into the kingdom. You're gonna catch hell. We're gonna have to suffer tribulation. But we also talked about Yahweh Shai delivering us from that. And that's where our faith comes in at. That's where our hope comes in at. That's where our patience comes in at. Remember that in the end of this thing, because this is about to get bad out here. It's already bad. Right. And we're going to have to see all of this stuff. We also talked about sincere brothers versus false brothers, right? Only you know why you're here. I don't know why you claim to woke up. I don't know why you're doing what you're doing. I hope that you're doing it because you're sincere and you believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and you fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai with fear and trembling. We talked about that. All of that goes back into faith and sincerity. All right? So make sure that you do the work sincere, and if you ain't sincere, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai gonna get you the fuck up out of here. We ain't gonna do nothing. All right? And at the end of the day, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is gonna deliver it. So we hope that you understood what was being said here. Hey, great job you did. You brothers did a good job today, especially you, brother, opening up the lesson when you did through the Spirit. Keep it up, and y'all brothers remember to read, bro. Read and do the work, bro. I shouldn't have to tell you this. We all grown men. All right. It's with that we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Shem Rakakodash.
Double honor to the apostle. Shalom to the elect. Lord, on the next week. Shalom.
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 Umbrellas. Everybody.
He's walking on the car.